Marvel. The devastation of natural disasters begins. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 28. No one can escape. Elder. When the Elder made a decision, Doctor Strange's fate changed, and Tang Feng noticed it, and it was easy to guess that it was the Elder's reason. He is doing some interesting games with Gwen, while he is distracted by thinking about things. It is not difficult for him to do two things. In fact, he has always had an idea for the Elder. If what he has done these days is to eat the captain and the others to the food of the dinner, then changing the death of the Elder is the complete feast of the Manchu and Han dynasty. He was thinking about how to change. According to the original development of the plot, the Elder is not really dead. It can only be regarded as a false death. Although the body is dead, but the soul goes to hell. With his magical achievements, he can live the second life completely. Because of this, even if Ancient One was saved and not allowed to die, the resources he could obtain would not be much. On the contrary, if he really killed Ancient One, it would definitely be a table full of Han Chinese, which would make him eat full of oil, full of food and drink. So, Tang Feng thought, showing a scary smile, because he was behind Gwen, and did not let her see him. After deciding what happened to Ancient One, I also thought of Dormammu, the Dark Lord, Mephisto, the Demon Lord of Hell, and Odin. All the pigs that are fat and dripping with oil are ready to be slaughtered. The more Tang Feng thought about it, the more refreshing it became. It was really great. I've been working behind the scenes, but I haven't really done it. I really feel like my body is rusty and it's time for some activities. For the next 3 days, Tang Feng went to school, got out of school, and hung out with Gwen regularly. Tomorrow is Saturday and Tang Feng didn't care too much about going to see Gwen's family. Compared to tonight's events, the things to do tonight are more important. Okay, this is The Last Spectator, and it's Spider-Man. A lively and noisy boxing championship is about to end. A generation of Spider-Man wore the first version of the spider suit and entered the ring. As he walked, he said to the host, "It's not this name 55." The host pretended not to hear it. The name he took was too ugly. Even if he was a weak chicken, he would have to choose a nice name when he entered the ring. However, what the host thought was a weak chicken, the result shocked him, only to see a generation of Spider-Man dodging the opponent's attack several times, and then a counterattack to overthrow the so-called boxing champion. In the end, a generation of Spider-Man won the final victory to everyone's surprise and went to take the prize money. When Spider-Man received the bonus, he was very angry because he didn't get all the bonus. When someone came in with a gun and robbed him, he was in a schadenfreude mood and became a bystander. In the plot of the original movie, because Spider-Man let go of the robber, he didn't expect that the robber would steal Mabel's car and escape after running away. Mabel refused and was shot. There were 2 robbers in total. Sandman was the one who shot Mabel. However, he didn't mean it. He just interfered with another robbery partner, and the gun went off before accidentally killing Mabel. Because of this, a generation of Spider-Man, angry and regretful, grabbed the fugitive Sandman with his bare hands and sent him to prison. For the sake of his sick daughter, Sandman tried his best to escape from prison, but accidentally broke into a trial site, was crushed by a machine, mixed with sand, and became Sandman. This is the plot of a generation of Spider-Man 3. After the robbery, Sandman ran out in a hurry, and when he saw that his partner was about to steal Mabel's car, he ran over him with a gun. Although Mabel is older, she is an upright person. Faced with the threat of the gun, he still will not back down, and he is not afraid of death at all. Then, the gun went off, and with a bang, the sound of gunshots echoed through the street, startling everyone. Mabel opened her eyes suspiciously, thinking he was dead, but she didn't feel that he was shot. She saw Tang Feng appear beside Sandman at an unknown time, holding his right hand that was shot at her and raising it into the air. For this reason, the bullet shot into the air and missed Mabel. Not only to rob the elderly, but also to shoot and kill people. What a scum of society. Tang Feng was very righteous. He punched 2 or 3 times and knocked down Sandman and another robber on the spot. I didn't mean that, please let me go, they can't catch me, I'm still at home. Sandman was begging for mercy, and before he could finish speaking, Tang Feng kicked him in the stomach, leaving him speechless in pain. No matter what the reason is, if it's wrong and should be judged by the law, Tang Feng said solemnly. He already had an idea of Sandman's fate. In his calculations, Sandman would join in justice. Therefore, Sandman's sick daughter will guide Kayla to get in touch. As long as Kayla cures Sandman's daughter, with this kindness, Sandman will willingly join in justice to repay Kayla. Sandman didn't know this. He kept staring at Tang Feng resentfully, and when he was taken away by the police, he was already desperate. He didn't know what would happen to his still sick daughter after being imprisoned. Vertical bar. Thank you. Thank you so much. If it weren't for you to save me, my uncle would have been hit by a bullet. Think about it, it's terrible. After hearing the gunshots, a generation of Spider-Man came out, saw Mabel, and knew what happened. Now he is terrified, regretful, and blames himself. I am very grateful for Tang Feng's help. You're welcome. 59. It was also a coincidence that I saw it. And it was also your uncle's luck. It seems that God is doomed that your uncle will not die today. Good. Tang Feng smiled slightly and said, he, you are right. This old man is destined to live longer. 35. Mabel smiled and had recovered from the previous emotions of fear. He seemed very open-minded and did not think about how afraid he was of death. For an old man of his age, he was ready to die at any time. Tang Feng admires Mabel's attitude towards life and knows that it is because of her influence that a generation can become a Spider-Man who insists on justice. Because of this, Tang Feng was a little curious about Mbo, so he came forward to save him in person and contacted him. Now that the people have been rescued and contacted, Tang Feng has also bid farewell to him. As for the matter of Mabel wanting to treat her savior to a meal, he didn't need to. Compared with the meal of gratitude, he has already eaten a meal of Mabel's destiny trajectory. Chapter 29. Spider-Man is sent. Every man will feel uneasy when he goes to see his father-in-law. No matter how confident and calm he is, he will be somewhat nervous. Tang Feng is different. He is not nervous at all. No matter how difficult it was for George Stacy, as long as he thought about it, George would feel good about him and easily accept the fact that he was Gwen's boyfriend. Tang Feng went to Gwen's house and bought a bottle of precious red wine, a cosmetic, and some small gifts as a greeting. The red wine is for Officer George, the cosmetics are for my mother-in-law, and the small gifts are for Gwen's younger brothers. Everyone has a gift. Dry. Come on. Tang Feng and Officer George clinked their wine glasses together and drank the small amount of red wine in them. Then, as they talked, they chatted happily. It was breakfast time. Tang Feng woke Gwen up early in the morning, so he came over early and had breakfast at her house. Gwen sat happily beside Tang Feng. She added vegetables to Tang Feng from time to time, just like a gentle and well-behaved daughter-in-law. She really didn't expect Dad to accept Tang Feng so easily, and thought that Tang Feng would be difficult. It's okay, just drink a little in moderation. You'll have to go out later. The mother-in-law also smiled and looked at Tang Feng. The more she looked at him, the more she felt full of 003. She didn't see Tang Feng's flaws, but only the advantages. She believes that her daughter has really found a man she can rely on all her life. Seeing that Officer George was still drinking, she quickly said, "Yes, wait a minute, Uncle, you have to go out for work, so don't drink too much alcohol." Tang Feng also put down the wine glass at the right time and coaxed them together. Okay. Officer George thought about it for a moment. Although he was very happy and wanted to drink and celebrate, his work was still as important as his heart, so he listened to the persuasion and stopped drinking. It was originally Saturday and he was on vacation. However, there was a sudden big case that needed to be handled by him, and his day off was coming to an end. Breakfast was over soon, and Officer George put on his uniform and said goodbye. "I hope Dad will pay attention to safety. This time I heard that Osborn Industries was invaded by robbers, destroying all the genetically modified spiders and killing many security guards. 5. I also heard that there are lizard monsters hanging around. I don't know if it's true or false." Gwen looked at George's back walking out and said worriedly, "Don't worry, your dad has been a policeman for so many years. He has faced all dangers and will know how to protect himself." 35 Tang Feng said with relief. He was very aware of the case that Officer George was quick to deal with. The Osborne Industries case was done by Lightning Thompson. In order to prevent the transgenic spider miracle from biting people, he infiltrated the Osborne Industrial Building and destroyed the transgenic spiders. As for the lizard monster case, Dr. Connors personally injected the serum last night, and as expected, an experimental accident occurred and he turned into a lizard monster. As soon as he turned into a lizardman, his brain was in chaos, and he was very violent. He first destroyed his own laboratory, and then ran out, creating a lot of chaos and accidentally injuring many pedestrians. After that, he disappeared from the sewers. The two major cases that happened last night undoubtedly had a huge impact. All the news stations reported it, and all the newspapers rushed to print them. As a police chief, George is destined to have no free time. These two major cases are not easy to solve. If only he and a group of police officers could handle them. In this case, the superhero appears. After learning about the Osborne Industries case, a generation of Spider-Man subconsciously thought that Thompson did it. So, he went to see Thompson to confirm it. As a result, he didn't see anyone in Thompson's house, but he saw the plan hanging on the wall. There were several benches in it, and one of the largest benches was surrounded by a red letter, "Not good." A generation of Spider-Man stunt drawer guessed what Thompson was going to do, but didn't think that the idea of robbing the bank had not given up, and acted today. "Thompson, are you there?" At this moment, a scream came from outside the door, and then the door opened. It was a middle-aged woman. "It's strange, I heard a sound just now," the middle-aged woman muttered suspiciously, and when she saw that the window was open, she stepped forward and closed the window. If she sticks her head out, she will see a generation of Spider-Man hiding by the wall outside. A generation of Spider-Man slings webs, walks away, and heads in the direction of Thompson's planned bank robbery. Fortunately, she had already put on the spider suit before she went out. This was the suit she prepared when she participated in the boxing championship match last night. Fortunately, she did not lose it. On that day, in the sky above New City, among the high-rise buildings, the swinging figure of Spider-Man first appeared. Someone robbed a bank. With this scream, followed by a chaotic scream, on the streets of this bank, everyone fled in panic. I saw a cash truck parked in front of the bank, full of dollars, waiting for the delivery to go. However, the escorts were all lying on the ground, and the only person standing at the scene was a strange man in a strange costume. I saw that he was tall and powerful, wearing tights and a headdress. The main color was yellow with a leopard print. The headdress had a leopard logo and an obvious lightning pattern. This weirdo who is going to rob a bank is obviously Lightning Thompson. In fact, he is a qualified supervillain. Last night, he destroyed the genetically modified spider and committed a major case. Today, he started to rob the bank. The efficiency of the action is very fast. It should have been 3 nights ago, and he should have destroyed the genetically modified spiders. However, considering the generation of Spider-Man, he was a little hesitant about hesitation. After 3 days of enduring it, he couldn't bear it anymore. No matter how the next generation of Spider-Man would react, he put aside his worries and did what he wanted to do. After seeing the power of lightning, the surrounding pedestrians only dared to watch from a distance and did not dare to meddle in their own affairs. I have already called the police and am waiting for the police to deal with this. However, before the police arrived, Lightning got onto the money carrier, started the car, and suddenly stepped on the accelerator and was about to leave. The cash carrier had just driven a dozen meters when a red figure jumped out from the sky. 2 spider webs shot out left and right, stuck to the wall of the building, and then quickly circled around the cash carrier and made a few turns. Finally, the figure jumped in front of the car and stopped. Then, he lets the money carrier refuel and start, but he can't move because he is pulled by the hard spider web. Chapter 30. The 3 Spider-Men meet. There was a loud bang. The door was violently slammed open. Lightning Thompson jumped out of the car. A pair of fierce eyes stared fiercely at the first-generation Spider-Man, and wanted to kill in anger. "Are you really going to stop me?" Thompson sighed softly. "Yes. Even if you have power, you can't do these illegal things. On the contrary, the greater the ability, the greater the responsibility. We should do some meaningful things, such as arresting criminals and delivering justice. Although you haven't committed a big crime yet, stop it. Stop doing illegal things." 99. A generation of Spider-Man said sincerely. The two of them tacitly did not call each other by their names. No matter if they are in a hostile relationship now, they will return to normal life after the event is over. Definitely, if Thompson is defeated and caught, and his identity is revealed, for revenge, it will be hard to say whether he will reveal the identity of a generation of Spider-Man. "Stop it. Don't say these words of justice to me. You are too naive. We have the power. We should live for ourselves, not for those who are selfish." The experience of the female Superman has already given me the answer. I don't want to encounter the same thing as her one day. It's better to choose the position of the bad guy from the beginning, and no matter what betrayal minus 35. Thompson said firmly. These words are really enlightening. Tang Feng stood in the distance looking at the crowd and couldn't help but applaud. Whether it's a superhero or a supervillain, as long as he stands firm and has a conscience, he will appreciate it. So, Tang Feng left without anyone noticing. Because there is no good show to watch, Thompson knows that the generation of Spider-Man is not easy to deal with, and he is not sure of winning it. If he delays for him, it will be troublesome when the police arrive. So, after saying a few words, he used lightning speed, squeezed into the crowd, left here, and quickly got rid of the pursuit of a generation of Spider-Man. "Damn Parker, I'm too nosy. Think of a way to kill him, otherwise, while he is still a little worried, he will be able to kill him. He will stop me." 99. Thompson had changed into his normal clothes and returned to his normal appearance. As he walked towards the house, he muttered to himself in a murderous tone, "By the way, I'm not sure about killing him alone, so I can find help." He suddenly remembered something and hurriedly went to the newsstand to buy a newspaper. A few pages of the newspaper said that he destroyed the genetically modified spider, and it also said that the lizard monster. His reports have taken up 2/3 of the newspaper's pages. The lizard man? I wish there is. Thompson is eager to talk. There is already a joint lizard man, to deal with a generation of Spider-Man, but he didn't know that Spider-Man was not just one. There were two others. The second-generation Spider-Man has followed the inertia of the plot to track down the lizard monster. The 3 generations of Spider-Man gained power for the first time, and he was very excited. He had already put on the designed spider suit and went to fight for justice. After the day was over, crossing the road with Grandma, helping the kids take down the soccer ball hanging from the tree, helping catch a cat that loves to run away, helping deliver pizza, helping. At dusk, the third-generation Spider-Man sat on the roof, his feet dangling in the air. His tone was very low. The more he talked, the sadder he was. How could it be different from what he thought? What he wants to do is to punish criminals, not these trivial things. Jingle, jingle. At this moment, the phone rang, and he quickly took it out. Seeing that the caller ID was Aunt May, he hurriedly connected it. "Aunt May, what's wrong?" Oh, right. The friend's party is over. I'll be back now." "Okay." The third-generation Spider-Man hung up the phone, let out a sigh of relief, and fooled Aunt May, which really embarrassed him. So, he didn't dare to neglect it and hurried back home with all his strength. In the end, he is a high school student, and the parents are too strict. 3 days later, the matter of the Lizardman, Lightning Thompson, the first-generation Spider-Man, and the second-generation Spider-Man has already caused a lot of uproar, triggering heated discussion in the society. The generation of Spider-Man went because he wanted to persuade Lightning Thompson to change his ways. Thompson would definitely not agree. The two could not convince each other, and inevitably fought. 0. For flowers with their strength, a fight will cause damage to the surrounding environment, attract attention, and cause panic among the masses. The second-generation Spider-Man and the Lizardman are also similar. In this, the two met and fought, and made a lot of noise. Because of this, the two generations of Spider-Man also know each other's existence. A generation of Spider-Man guessed that there should be a new friend in the third year of high school who had also successfully mutated. That's right. In this way, under the suggestion of a generation of Spider-Man, the three of them met on the day of the Osborn Industrial Carnival and got to know each other. Oh, great. The supervillain you have to deal with is Lightning, and the supervillain you have to deal with is Lizardman. Both of them are so cool. I really envy you. I also have the same power, but I can only do some small things in secret. The three Spider-Men walked on the bustling streets. Taking advantage of the carnival holidays, too many people came to play. If you look down from the sky, you will see a crowd of people, the three generations of Spider-Man said, but he couldn't hide his envious look. Man, things are not as good as you think. Supervillains are not easy to deal with. I need your help. The generation Spider-Man shrugged helplessly and sighed. I need your help too. The second generation Spider-Man followed suit. No problem. Just call me if you have anything and I'll be there right away. The third generation Spider-Man hit the moon hook on the spot and promised. It's a happy promise now, but I forgot about Aunt May's existence, and I don't know if the other two Spider-Men will be able to arrive in time when the other two Spider-Men need their help. When the three of them were talking, a sudden change was about to happen, and a green figure flew over them. When the rest of the people thought it was a spectacle, only the three of them realized that something was wrong, and spider telepathy was giving them a very dangerous warning, which made their hair stand on end for a long time. Chapter 31 Tang Feng also attacks. The three Spider-Men's hunch was right, and danger did indeed occur. I saw the green figure stepping on the flight skateboard and shooting a watermelon bomb at a building. The people gathered there were all high-level shareholders of Osborn Industries, or important personnel. Even Green Goblin's son, Harry, was there, and beside him was Mary Jane. After the watermelon bomb exploded, the wide balcony of the building collapsed, and the shattered balcony fell down, along with many people. After all, he was Green Goblin's son. According to Green Goblin's subconscious calculation, Harry was in danger and did not fall. But Mary Jane was not so lucky. She was desperately grabbing the broken balcony with one hand, screaming in panic. Her body was already in the air and would fall at any moment. In the terrified crowd below, the three Spider-Men looked at each other and rushed towards Green Goblin against the flow of people. At the same time, they took off their outer clothes, revealing the spider suits inside, and turned into Spider-Man. Man, the entire army attacks. One generation of Spider-Man chose Mary Jane, to save her first, and then save the rest of the people. Since there were two other Spider-Men on the scene, he didn't have to worry about who to save first. The second generation Spider-Man used web shooters to jump into the air to entangle Green Goblin and stop him from continuing to destroy. The three generations of Spider-Man also went to rescue people. They formed spider webs one by one, rescued one person, and also wrapped a piece of debris falling from the balcony with spider webs. Wow, it's so dangerous. You're safe. Don't shout, you'll make me deaf. You shout so loud. Okay, this is the last person I save. This means that I have a fate with you. Do you want to sign? The three-generation Spider-Man chatted while saving people. But he didn't know that there was actually another person who needed his help even more. However, due to Tang Feng's influence, he subconsciously ignored him and didn't know about the carnival activities, and his Aunt Mai also came to participate. Be careful. In the panicked crowd, there was a sexy woman who was overwhelmed by being squeezed, unable to leave the scene of danger for a long time. Worst of all, because she was wearing high-heeled shoes, she accidentally twisted her right foot and squatted on the ground in roaring pain. Unfortunately, when she looked up, a gravel was falling towards her. As long as she was hit, her life would be in danger, but she couldn't escape. At this critical moment, a man came to the rescue. Those strong arms lifted her up forcefully, turned around in time and walked to safety. The gravel fell behind him. She hugged the man's neck with both hands and was shocked to see all this. She felt that the man who suddenly appeared was too easygoing and his method of saving people was too attractive. Just like the plot of the movie, the hero appears handsome and the hero saves the beauty. There is no doubt that her heart has been teased. Too romantic. It's okay. It should be safe here. Are you okay? When she was in a trance, the man had already taken her away from the place where the three Spider-Men fought Green Goblin and came to a cafe. It has to be said that the nature of scene liveliness is the same no matter what country the people are from. The cafe is open to the public as normal, and many customers have gathered. They are drinking coffee and calming their lingering emotions. Occasionally someone gets high. Roar. It's so cool. It's so exciting. It's like the big battle in the movie. The three Spider-Men appear. Stuff like that. I'm fine. Thank you for saving me. My name is May Parker. What's your name? The sexy woman who was rescued was the third-generation Spider-Man's Aunt May. She chose a seat with the man and said gratefully, "You're welcome. As a gentleman, when I see a beautiful woman in distress, I definitely can't wait to die. My name is Tang Feng." The man who saved the beauty was Tang Feng. His eyes were unconcealed, and he looked at Aunt Mai with admiration and admiration. "Boy, are you kidding? I'm almost 40 years old. I'm already old." Aunt Mai stroked her hair with her hand and said happily. Someone praised her beauty, and as a woman, she must be happy. Moreover, the person who praised her beauty is a savior, and just like in a movie, he saved her very romantically. She looked at Tang Feng with a splendid look in her eyes. Tang Feng had a charm that attracted her, which stirred her heart. She couldn't treat Tang Feng with the same attitude as an ordinary person. "You were just kidding. From what I see, you are in your 30s at most. You are better taken care of than ordinary women, and your figure is also very good. How did you do it?" Tang Feng continued to praise. This is not random nonsense, it is an unmistakable fact. He has watched 3 generations of Spider-Man movies and knows his sexy Aunt May. So, while he was unconsciously sleeping, he also created a sexier and younger Aunt May. Because of this, Tang Feng became curious about Aunt Mai, so he chose a hero to save the beauty and met her. According to her original fate, no matter how sexy Aunt Mai is, she will be a widow Timbo and die alone. However, if Tang Feng were to change this fate, he would obtain the resources to speed up the upgrade. Therefore, for the sake of resources, Tang Feng had a shameless idea. "By the way, you sprained your foot just now. Let me take a look. I know some medical skills and should be able to push it for you. After returning home, you will be completely healed without having to go to the hospital." "This, how can I bother you?" "No need." "You're welcome. Let me show you. If you delay, the injury on your foot will become very serious." 4.8 Tang Feng's alarmist remarks frightened Aunt Mai, so she half-heartedly asked Tang Feng to check it out. To be honest, there are so many people in the cafe, even with so many eyes watching, it still makes her feel a little shy to let Tang Feng treat her right foot. However, after all, she is a woman from country M, with an open mind, and she is not as timid and shy as an ordinary woman. After a while, she was surprised to find that Tang Feng's technique was really good. The sprained right foot did not hurt so much, and it was getting so comfortable. If it weren't for the scruples that there were so many people around, she would have hummed comfortably. Chapter 32 discovered for the third generation. When Tang Feng was soaking with Aunt Mai of the 3 generations of Spider-Man, the encounter between the 3 Spider-Men and Green Goblin on the other side had already come to a conclusion. Green Goblin is like a big gray wolf that was beaten, leaving a sentence, "I will not let go of your cruel words," and then stepped on the flight skateboard and fled. The 3 Spider-Men definitely did not want Green Goblin to escape. However, in order to escape safely, Green Goblin threw a few watermelon bombs before leaving, and each watermelon bomb was thrown into a crowded place. In this way, the 3 Spider-Men were busy saving people to intercept the watermelon bomb, but they could not come out to stop Green Goblin. Until now, the surprise change of this carnival is over. Moreover, because of the presence of the 3 Spider-Men, except for the watermelon bomb that killed the shareholders of Osborn Industries at the beginning, the remaining innocent people were not injured, but they were frightened. "Jane, are you okay?" "That's great, luckily you're okay. I'm sorry, at that time there was nothing I could do to save you." In the chaotic scene that was beginning to calm down, Harry found a panicked Mary Jane in the crowd, hurried over and said apologetically to her, "It's okay, thanks to that Spider-Man who came to the rescue. Mary Jane smiled reluctantly, pointing at the generation of Spider-Man who was swinging on the swing and was about to leave. What she said was wrong. Because of this incident, seeing Harry's incompetence, she was unable to give him a sense of security and would no longer consider choosing Harry. She has an alcoholic father who often abuses her at home, making her have an innate fear of men. This is why she is very cautious about choosing her boyfriend. I thought Harry was someone trustworthy, but I didn't expect him to be so useless. For a man who can't give her a sense of security, even if she is rich, she also rejects him in her heart. Fortunately for her, she didn't actually become Harry's girlfriend and was still intact. In fact, her idea was influenced by Tang Feng. Otherwise, Harry wouldn't be abandoned so easily. Because, no matter how small a mosquito is, it is still meat. No matter whose fate, Tang Feng has an idea to change it. They are resources and can speed up their upgrade. As for Mary Jane, Tang Feng is not in a hurry. He will send Aunt Mai back first. As a gentleman, he definitely couldn't let a lady with a sprained foot go home alone. Ding! The elevator door opened. Tang Feng helped Aunt Mai out and stopped by a door. "Thank you, my house has arrived." Aunt Mai opened the door and smiled back at Tang Feng. "Your house looks very good." "Then it's nothing, I'll go first." Tang Feng looked out of the open door and saw the layout inside. Although the space is not big, everything is tidy and clean, giving people a comfortable feeling. He gave a compliment and pretended to leave. "Wait, you saved me. I haven't thanked you properly. Stay and eat, right?" Aunt Mai quickly grabbed Tang Feng's hand and invited her over. "Okay then." Tang Feng smiled and took Aunt Mai's hand instead. Aunt Mai's heart jumped and she felt nervous, so she lowered her head and avoided Tang Feng's gaze. At this moment, she is like a lonely woman who was influenced by a master of love. Then, Tang Feng entered the room and closed the door, revealing a triumphant smile. Inviting him into the house is inviting the wolf into the house. "Your medicinal liquor is there, let me clean it up first." "In the small cabinet." "You don't need to come, I'll do it. It's too troublesome for you to clean up, so let me do it for you." "Okay then." Aunt Mai did not firmly refuse, so she asked Tang Feng to rub the medicinal wine on her. As a result, it was her feet that were rubbing the medicinal wine, but she felt her body getting hotter and hotter. Fortunately, Aunt Mai didn't call me to urge me to go back. The three generations of Spider-Man hurried home as the sky darkened while rejoicing to themselves. On this day, he was quite busy. After chasing away Green Goblin, he moved with the other two Spider-Man, trying to find the Lizardman, or find Lightning Thompson, take him down, and arrest him. However, the Lizardmen are hidden in the complicated sewers and can't be found for the time being. Lightning Thompson was also alert and hid himself. Thompson is scared. What happened at the carnival has spread all over the internet. "Mom, the three Spider-Men are really hard to provoke." Knowing that there are three Spider-Man as opponents, he is even more determined to find a helper, and now he is drilling into the sewer, with the keen sense of smell attached to the cheetah gene, to find the Lizardman first. Because of this, the three Spider-Mans have been busy all day and they are not successful. Strange sound. Like, the three-generation Spider-Man was about to knock on the door, but his keen hearing made him vaguely hear the movement in the room. He was puzzled for a moment, and then quickly reacted. He subconsciously thought that it was a robbery, and Aunt Mai had also been robbed. When he was so angry that he was about to rush in, he suddenly understood something from Aunt Mai's screams. Judging from the screams, Aunt Mai was willing. Did Aunt Mai cheat? Did she have an affair? No, Uncle has been dead for a long time. 003 Aunt Mai has been alone in the empty room and has loved herself for so many years. It is already right to start with her uncle. It is not considered cheating. It is the normal love between men and women. The third-generation Spider-Man thought in a complicated mood. He did not have the idea of making Aunt Mai live as a widow until she died. This kind of thing is very rare or very rare in the country of M. In modern times, even in ancient Eastern countries with thousands of years of cultural heritage, few women are widowed. Don't you know who is inside? I hope Aunt Mai can be happy. The third-generation Spider-Man thought with blessing in his heart and left silently. Although he persuaded himself to accept the fact, but suddenly discovered that Aunt Mai has a boyfriend. This kind of thing still cannot be easily accepted. He, who has always depended on Aunt Mai, regards Aunt Mai as his adoptive mother and feels that someone is going to take her away now. His mood is undoubtedly very low now, so he swings on the swing and unknowingly came to the home of a generation of Spider-Man and vented his distress. The reason why he was subconsciously looking for the first generation, not the second generation, is because the first generation of Spider-Man gave him the feeling that he was much more stable, his ideas were very mature, and he also had his own firm belief in the righteous things that he wanted to do. It gives him the feeling that the first generation is like the elder of a father, the second generation is like a brother, and he himself is the little brother of the family. Chapter 33 The villain is in action. Oh, it's getting dark, you can go quickly. Aunt Mai suppressed the reluctance in her heart and urged Tang Feng to leave. Tang Feng did not hold back his strength, nodded with a smile and left. Walking out to the street below the building, he turned around, looked at the building, and said to himself with a smile, "Then you probably don't know. Your Parker has already gone home." Jingle, the doorbell is ringing. Let's go. 99 Parker, you're finally back. Why are you back so late? 35 After letting Tang Feng go, Aunt Mai called to urge the 3 generations of Spider-Man to come back. Only after about 10 minutes, the 3 generations of Spider-Man returned home with a shoulder bag. Aunt Mai opened the door, and as she spoke, she felt a little guilty in her heart, and her words were wrong. She was glad that Parker didn't go home earlier, otherwise she would have ruined the good things between her and Tang Feng. It's just that there's a problem and I have to solve it, so I'm home late. 3 generations of Spider-Man entered the house, sharp organs. They had already smelled the smell that Aunt May had sprayed a lot of perfume to cover up. Thinking of Aunt May having a new love, although my heart is still low, after a generation of Spider-Man's comfort, I can already accept it. Oh, with a brain like Parker's, is there any way to stop him? What problem can hold you up for so long? Does that solve it? Aunt Mai asked with concern as she took out the dishes and served Parker's food. It definitely solved it. The 3 generations of Spider-Man nodded directly, and then couldn't wait to eat. After a busy day, she was indeed very hungry. That's good. Aunt Mai smiled and they ate together. By the way, before I went out this morning, I heard that you were also going out to play. Where did you go? The 3-generation Spider-Man was eating and remembered what happened in the morning. Because he was in a hurry to meet the other 2 Spider-Man, he hurriedly left the house without listening to what Aunt May was going to tell him. I'm going to the Osborn Industries Carnival today, Aunt Mai said with a lingering expression on her face. If it weren't for Tang Feng's help, she would be dead now. What Tilda? I heard that the carnival celebration was attacked by bad guys. Are you okay? The 3rd-generation Spider-Man was startled on the spot. Roar made a loud noise and stood up abruptly. Even though he knew that Aunt May was sitting in front of him safely, he still asked worriedly, "It's okay. Although I sprained my foot and there was an accident, I met a kind person." Aunt May didn't want him to worry too much, so she said it briefly and didn't say anything about his almost death. Even so, the 3 generations of Spider-Man also blamed themselves a lot. Obviously Aunt Mai was at the scene of the incident, but with her always sensitive organs, since she didn't find it at all, it really shouldn't be. Fortunately, Aunt Mai, you are okay. What happened to the foot injury? Did you go to the hospital? And that kind person, I want to thank him very much. After blaming himself, the 3rd-generation Spider-Man asked, the foot injury is almost healed, and there is no need to go to the hospital. That kind man, when I have time, I will invite him to dinner and let you meet him. Aunt Mai showed a happy smile and made a pun. The 3rd-generation Spider-Man is not stupid. Looking at Aunt May's expression, he has some guesses in his heart. If you guessed correctly, the person who saved Aunt Mai should be Aunt Mai's new love. Thinking of this, the 3 generations of Spider-Man have a good impression of Tang Feng, who has never met, and they are no longer so resilient. From the Western point of view, after the hero saves the beauty, he captures the beauty's heart, and then lives happily together. It is a very romantic thing. Well, this kind of thing, no matter which country, They should be a welcome thing. For the next 4 or 5 days, Tang Feng was in 2 shifts. One side was having a romantic relationship with Gwen, and the other side was quietly doing things with Aunt Mai. That's right, quietly, because Aunt May didn't want Parker to know the relationship between the two so quickly, so she could only act like a thief and do things like cheating. If she knew about it, the 3 generations of Spider-Man would have known about it. Then she must feel ashamed. Among them, Tang Feng also came to the door openly and gave a thank you meal, which was regarded as a true acquaintance of the 3 generations of Spider-Man. Under the influence of Tang Feng's thoughts, the 3 generations of Spider-Man and Aunt Mai subconsciously ignored the fact that Aunt Mai's old cows ate young grass. According to the actual age, it should be said that Tang Feng ate young grass. They also ignored Tang Feng's family background and other personal matters, as was the case with Aunt May. The same was true for the Gwens. In this way, even if Tang Feng steps on 2 boats, even if he is more romantic and unrestrained, he will not be seen through. If the dignified god of fate is still concerned about this kind of thing, it is really a big joke. In the past few days, Green Goblin still jumped out from time to time to cause trouble, but was hit by 3 Spider-Men and escaped. As for Lightning Thompson and the Lizardman, they have not appeared in trouble. Today, even Green Goblin did not jump out to cause trouble, which surprised the 3 Spider-Men. Before they knew it, the crisis had quietly approached. Vertical bar ha ha ha, the lizard serum has been successfully developed. With its help, I will definitely be able to build a lizard empire. 35 I've had enough of this disgusting, filthy world full of humans, and I can't wait to clean up this stinking world right now and turn it into my ideal country. 35 A country full of lizardmen. In a certain sewer, Dr. Lizard, who has turned into a lizardman, is holding a tube of serum and looking up and laughing. There were 2 figures standing beside him, one yellow and one green, namely Lightning Thompson and Green Goblin. Oh yes, as my partners, even if they are not of my kind, they are qualified to live in my new ideal world. Dr. Lizard looked at the tube beside him, his tone changed, and he smiled nervously. Obviously, although he is neurotic, he is not an idiot. He knows that if you want to win over the enemy, you still have to rely on them. GG. Great, your serum has been developed, so can we go out and make a scene? Damn 3 Spider-Men, I will definitely kill them this time, Green Goblin said with a wry smile. He definitely knew that Dr. Lizard had evil intentions, but he didn't take it to heart. When the enemy was defeated, who would die and who would live? Who would know? After enduring so many days, the time is really ripe to be dispatched. Lightning Thompson nodded his head 7 times in agreement. He was eager to get revenge, but he didn't think much about it, and thought about everything after the revenge was over. I can't wait, so let's start now. Dr. Lizard was impatient, collected all the lizard serum, turned around and left. The tall body took heavy steps and kept reverberating in the sewer. Behind him, Lightning Thompson and Dr. Lizard followed. The 3 great villains have joined forces. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 34 is in action. The incident happened suddenly, and the streets suddenly became chaotic, and everyone was screaming and fleeing the scene. I saw 3 big villains walking towards the Osborn Industrial Building, and beside them, hundreds of lizard warriors followed. These lizard warriors were all infected by the lizard serum, mutated from ordinary people into lizard warriors, and obeyed Dr. Lizard's instructions. Dr. Lizard's plan is to go to the Osborn Industrial Building and use the equipment installed on the roof to spread his lizard serum to the entire city, so that the tens of millions of people in the city can be transformed into lizardmen. This is his first plan. As long as this plan of action is successful, his lizard empire will have hope. When the 3 villains were in action, the police had already reacted and sent all the police officers to arrest them. However, no matter how many police officers there were, they were all meat buns beating dogs, and they all turned Dr. Lizard into a lizard warrior. His lizard warriors quickly exceeded 300. If it weren't for the fact that not many lizard serums were developed, then perhaps there would be more lizard warriors. They appeared together and are causing a riot. We must act quickly. 35 The first generation Spider-Man has secretly connected to the police communication channel 010. When he first knew about it, he quickly asked for leave and hurriedly notified the other two Spider-Men. He left the school and went to the past on a swing. Receive. The second generation Spider-Man replied, and regardless of whether the first generation Spider-Man heard it or not, he found a reason to go to the bathroom and hurriedly left. Well, my stomach hurts and I have to go to the bathroom, probably because I've eaten a bad stomach, and it will take a little longer. The third generation Spider-Man also found a reason to go to the bathroom. He pretended to cover his stomach, looked very painful, ignored the laughter of his classmates, and hurriedly left. If you look towards the city, you will find that with the Osborn Industrial Building as the center, 3 great villains and more than 300 lizard warriors have passed through the entire city. On the way, they defeated all the police officers and rushed towards the building. The 3 Spider-Men swung between the buildings, jumping and flying, rushing past at the fastest speed. Because the first generation and the second generation are from the same university, they joined together soon after departure. It didn't take long for 3 generations of Spider-Men to gather together. The chatter starts with 3 generations of Spider-Men, who keep talking while swinging, Deadman screeching as well. These were Tang Feng's thoughts. He shook his head speechlessly, licked his ears with his fingertips, and stopped paying attention to them. He looked in both directions and smiled expectantly. Today, they finally meet. This is a matter that endangers the entire city, and it's not safe to solve it with just 3 little Spider-Mans, so go ahead. With Nick Fury's order, the Captain, Black Widow, Winter Soldier, and Carter joined forces again. Dr. Banner did not go with him, because the Hulk's condition was too dangerous to be of help. So if it's not a big deal, like fighting the female Superman, the Hulk will not help. At the speed of a fighter jet, it won't take long for him to arrive. Before that, the 3 Spider-Man had already arrived. They stretched their bodies and the 3 Spider-Men are here. What should Spider-Man be called? They are all superheroes. First generation, second generation, third generation Spider-Man. Please defeat them. Come on, huh? Why call them that? There are 3 Spider-Man in total. If you don't call them like that, how can you tell which Spider-Man they are? The first Spider-Man that appears first is the one from the first generation. The Spider-Man that appears later is the one from the second generation. The last Spider-Man that appeared is from 3 generations. 5 When this passerby was explaining, Ajay, Tang Feng was also saying the same thing. He simply helped Tang Feng translate it simultaneously, and through his mouth, the concept of 1 generation, 2 generations, and 3 generations was announced in public. After listening to his explanation, the people around showed a sudden understanding and accepted the words. He, I am the 3rd generation Spider-Man, you are the 2nd generation, you are the 1st generation. It's very interesting to call our, so we'll call each other like that from now on. The 3rd generation Spider-Man said with a smile. The 2nd and 3rd generations nodded their heads in agreement. In fact, because they are both Spider-Man, they are struggling with how to call themselves Raw, and they have never figured out what to call them. Well, now, the names of the 1st generation, 2nd generation, and 3rd generation are exactly what they want. Generation Spider-Man, leave me alive this time. Lightning Thompson, also simply called Drawer. Lightning, don't make mistakes again and again, it's too late to stop now. A generation of Spider-Man tacitly called the nickname, still did not give up, persuaded. Okay, as long as you are dead, I will stop now. Lightning Thompson said with a sneer. A generation of Spider-Man shook his head helplessly. It seems that it is a dark road all the way to the end. 2nd generation Spider-Man, our previous account must be settled now. The Lizard Warriors, give it to me. Dr. the Lizard waved his tail impatiently, and as he attacked the 2nd generation Spider-Man, he ordered and shouted, GGG. It seems my opponent is the 3rd generation Spider-Man, Little Spider-Man. Let's have a good time. Don't worry, you don't have the other two helpers. I will definitely kill you this time." The Green Goblin smiled strangely and flew towards the third-generation Spider-Man on the flight skateboard. Before anyone arrived, he threw out 3 watermelon bombs. Not only 3 big villains, but also more than 300 lizard warriors attacked the 3 Spider-Men, making them feel a lot of pressure, tired of avoiding the constant attacks, and were in a hurry for a while. At this moment, a burst of gunfire appeared, knocking down the lizard warriors one by one. Even if they could regenerate and heal, they couldn't be as powerful as Dr. Lizard after all, and at the moment, they could only fall to the ground and groan. Avoid 3 Spider-Men, and the rest are free to shoot. Shoot. Chief George arrived with a team of police officers, using more than a dozen police cars as a defensive belt. He aimed at the lizard warriors and kept shooting. Although he didn't like the lizard warriors, he was still a little worried. Behavior of 3 Spider-Man snatching and arresting criminals. He also knew that to solve this crisis, he had to rely on 3 Spider-Man helpers. So, he was not stupid enough to tell his men to shoot with them. Chapter 35, 3 Dead Spider-Men? With the support of the police, the 3 Spider-Men can finally breathe a sigh of relief and not be so tired from dealing with this. However, even if the pressure is much less, each Spider-Man has to deal with a big villain, and there will be lizard warriors sneaking up from time to time, causing them to be distracted and confront the enemy, and the odds of winning are very small. Soon after the battle, all 3 Spider-Men were injured. Dr. Lizard, Lightning Thompson, and Green Goblin laughed loudly. Instead of stopping their attacks, they accelerated their attacks. They wanted to pursue victory and expand their advantages until they killed all 3 Spider-Men. The situation of the 3 Spider-Men is not good, and the police is even more dangerous. The vehicles in the defensive zone will be blown up by the lizard warriors. Although under the counterattack of the police, the lizard warriors fell to the ground, but under the order of Dr. Lizard, these lizard warriors did not fear death at all. They just charged silently, tearing apart every enemy they saw. All the policemen were trembling and scared. With their small caliber pistols, even if they hit the lizard warriors a few times, they would at most fall to the ground temporarily. None of them will die, but the policemen are different. They are all ordinary people. As long as the lizard warriors get close to them, they will die tragically on the spot. As each comrade in arms was torn apart and died tragically, some people began to flee. If someone took the lead in escaping, the situation could no longer be stopped. No matter how much Director George opened his mouth to stop it, he could not stop the escape. Not long after, when the lizard warriors broke through the vehicle's defense belt, the police officers were killed and fled, leaving only Chief George surrounded. Like a weak woman surrounded by dozens of big men, she can only tremble, making people look pitiful. Chief George smiled miserably and was about to shoot himself. He flicked a lizard warrior with his tail. His body flew upside down. His gun fell. He crashed into a car, hit his head hard, and fainted. Then, something strange happened, and the surrounding lizard warriors ignored Chief George's presence, continued to obey orders, and joined the formation surrounding the 3 Spider-Men. Dr. Lizard also subconsciously ignored Director George. When he wanted to come, he was just a small person, not worthy of his concern. What he cared about was to kill the 3 Spider-Men as soon as possible and then continue with the plan. It's over. It's over. We're surrounded. We should have escaped earlier. The police have dealt with more than 300 lizard warriors, more than 100, and the 3 of them have dealt with 40 or 50 before, and there are still about 120 left. Now, these remaining lizard battlefields are surrounded by 3 Spider-Men. And even if they can use the spider web to swing, it is not easy to escape. Not to mention that there are still 3 big villains watching from the side. If there is no accident, the 3 budding little Spider-Men are dead. No matter how righteous the 3-generation Spider-Man is, he is always a high school senior, and the youngest is already panicked and set in fear. Calm down. Even if you are going to die, you can't be so ashamed. The 2nd-generation Spider-Man 39 Sandi's body was trembling slightly, and his tone was crying. I'm also afraid, and I'm also afraid of death. But we are Spider-Men who represent justice, and we can't be so cowardly, even in death. 5. The second-generation Spider-Man gritted his teeth, saying this to the third generation and himself. Listen to me. At this moment, the first-generation Spider-Man spoke in a deep voice. He didn't look back, but stood in front of the two of them, leaving behind an ever-calm back. I have always had a firm belief and worked hard for it, that is, the greater the ability, the greater the responsibility. Because we were bitten by genetically modified spiders, we have successfully mutated and have power, and we are no longer ordinary people with strength. Which path should we choose? 99. I had this doubt at the beginning, and I believe you have had it before, until we put on this spider suit, swinging in this city and doing good deeds of punishing evil and promoting good with our own strength. We all felt satisfied. 39. I love this city, and I'm sure you do too. So please don't think about things that will kill you. People will always die. The question is whether it is worth dying for or being unwilling to die. For me, as long as the safety of this city can be maintained, even death is worth it. However, if I can't do anything about the bad guys and can't save everyone, then I won't be willing to die. The first-generation Spider-Man's calm and powerful words, as well as unwavering faith, moved the two Spider-Men behind them. They listened, regained their composure, and showed firm eyes. One generation, you're right. Even if I'm going to die now, I don't regret the decision to put on the spider suit. The second-generation Spider-Man took a few steps forward, stood to the right of the first generation, and said loudly, "Me too, I'm not afraid anymore." The three generations also stood to the left of the first generation and expressed their firm attitude with strong words. Okay, then let's fight side by side. 0.0 As long as we work together to fight, it won't be that easy to kill each other. Let them see how good we are now, the first-generation Spider-Man said, extending a right hand with the back of it facing up. The second and third generations stretched out their hands at the same time, placed them on the back of the first-generation Spider-Man's hand, looked at each other, and nodded firmly. You still dare to be stubborn when death is imminent, HMPH. Lightning Thompson said irritably. He admits that after listening to a generation of Spider-Man, he realized that he had never truly understood Peter Parker. Peter Parker equals Spider-Man. In his heart, he agreed with this concept. Warriors, hold on to me. 95 Following Dr. Lizard's orders, the lizard warriors surrounding the three Spider-Men began to attack. Dr. Lizard, Lightning Thompson, and Green Goblin also made sneak attacks from time to time. I saw that it was a tragic scene from the beginning. Even if the three Spider-Men fought back to back and took down the lizard warriors one by one, wounds appeared one after another on their bodies. Spider-Man's suit broke and turned even redder. It was hot blood-stained red. Don't tear their masks apart. Let them die in the name of Spider-Man, Lightning Thompson said to Dr. Lizard in a deep voice. To this, Dr. Lizard nodded without thinking. As long as he can kill three Spider-Men, it doesn't matter how he dies. Chapter 36 Diana's shot. My God, who will save them? They are about to be killed. There are many people hiding in the surrounding buildings, and they can see the three Spider-Men in dire straits from a distance through the window, door, or any corner. This is a tragic battle scene. Because the defeated lizard warriors were not dragged away, they just lay on the ground one by one. Looking from a distance, the bodies of the lizard warriors were lying within a radius of 100 meters, and the three Spider-Men were circling on the battlefield, with a radius of more than 10 meters, and more lying down, all piled up several meters high, and the three seriously injured Spider-Men are standing on top. There were more than 20 remaining lizard warriors, and they continued to step on the bodies of their companions and attack the three Spider-Men, with Dr. Lizard, Lightning Thompson, and Green Goblin assisting in the attack. The three Spider-Men never had any hope of escaping. The people around 010 clearly saw the situation of the battle here. For the tragic situation of the three Spider-Men, as long as they are not cold-blooded, everyone is understanding. No matter what the people around them think or how they pray for the three Spider-Men, what should come will come, and the time of death has come. The entire fighting time was intense and fast. With the stamina of the 3 Spider-Men, they were exhausted in just 10 minutes. After all, everyone was helpless and could not be merciless. If they wanted to defeat all the lizard warriors, they had to use all their power to hit, and they had to be careful not to really kill them, which was very laborious and mental. Also stupid, but they have no other choice. They know that the lizard warriors can still recover, so they do not want to kill innocent people. Even if they are in a desperate situation, they still hold on to their principles. There is no such thing as a forced choice. It all depends on whether you can stick to it or not. Tang Feng stood on top of a building. His face was moved, although the power of the 3 Spider-Men was just ants to him, but their will and faith were worthy of a different look and respect. They are coming. She is here too. At this moment, Tang Feng looked up and saw a fighter plane flying fast from a distance. Then he looked down and laughed softly. At the same time, the 3 Spider-Men below were facing a fatal blow. Lightning Thompson ran at an extremely fast speed. His right hand was shaped like a claw, and a crackling electric light flashed on it, aiming at the heart of the first-generation Spider-Man's moon-hung mouth and slashing at it fiercely. The second-generation Spider-Man was facing Dr. Lizard's bite. I saw Dr. Lizard's tall body, who had already leaped into the air, blocking the sunlight and rushing towards the second-generation Spider-Man fiercely. That mouth, sharp teeth and fangs have been revealed, and the pair of sharp claws are exuding a dazzling sharp light. Green Goblin's fatal blow to the third-generation Spider-Man was that the pedaling flight skateboard stabbed into the third-generation Spider-Man's body with its sharp forehead. There is no doubt that the 3 Spider-Men are in a death predicament. Their spider telepathy can detect it in advance, but it is already powerless and cannot avoid it, so they can only watch death coming. Will Spider-Man make a curtain call today? No, he won't. Tang Feng will not let the 3 Spider-Men die so easily for the sake of Spider-Man's future data. The rescue soldiers he arranged have already arrived, not the captain and others. Even if the fighter planes were flying very fast, they were about to make an emergency landing, but they didn't have time to save them. The one who came to their rescue was another one. Hearing a coquettish shout, a Meoman figure rushed over at a very fast speed, holding a shield in one hand and a long sword in the other, wearing an ancient battle suit, slender, with uneven skin, not white, but a kind of very healthy color, and a very playful surname. This is a female war goddess that only exists in mythology. She rushed to the battle scene, first threw the mantra rope and tied Dr. Lizard's hands and feet. Immediately afterwards, she held the divine shield to block the flight skateboard, and the other hand held a Vulcan sword, blocking Lightning Thompson's attack route. With a stab, a hot blood splashed out, and Lightning Thompson retreated at a faster speed. The sharp nails on her pair of claws had disappeared. If he retreated slowly, he would be dismembered by the Vulcan sword. Immediately afterwards, the Vulcan sword drew a circle around him, cutting a dozen lizard warriors in half. The figure flashed again and again, with an elegant killing posture, killing all the lizard warriors who could still stand. Unlike the 3 soft-hearted Spider-Men, Diana, the Wonder Woman who had just appeared, would not have the slightest soft heart. She was a true warrior and had been taught to kill the enemy for so many years. As soon as Lightning Thompson was repelled, Green Goblin was still far away, and the lizard warrior was no longer in the way, and there was only one lizard doctor who was bound by the mantra rope. Therefore, Diana did not hesitate, and the Vulcan sword aimed at his neck and fell down. Wait, don't kill him. The second-generation Spider-Man had just escaped the catastrophe and was in shock. Seeing that Dr. Lizard was about to be beheaded, she hurriedly shouted 0. Diana frowned and hurriedly adjusted the direction of the beheading, only beheading Dr. Lizard's right arm, which happened to be the right arm she lost when she was an ordinary person. Why can't you kill him? These monsters were going to kill you right now. They look so evil. They must be bewitched by Ares, the god of war. I must eradicate them. When Diana spoke righteously, the captain and the others finally landed on the ground. They just listened to the female warrior who suddenly appeared and said something incomprehensible, and they only felt inexplicable. The 3 Spider-Men were also stunned. What the hell? What is the motive for the killing? Ha ha ha. It's really interesting. It's worthy of being a rookie Diana, but it's still too simple." Tang Feng laughed, thinking that Diana, who had just left Paradise Island, was really innocent. "Madam, first of all, on behalf of everyone in New York City, thank you for your help. Then, I also ask you not to kill him. The crime he committed will be judged by law." The captain walked over and stopped thinking about the reason for Diana's murder and said seriously, "Who are you? Why should I listen to you?" Diana looked at the captain and said directly. She frowned, only feeling that the captain's appearance was a little familiar, as if she had seen it from there. "By the way, I remembered, I saw your appearance in a photo of 4.8. You are the captain of Country M." Without waiting for the captain to answer, Diana simply tilted her head to think, and with an amazing memory, she recalled a series of events from the past and suddenly said, "This was when she first left Paradise Island. She had just set foot on this continent and was unfamiliar with everything. So she used various means to familiarize herself with modern human society as soon as possible. She had seen black and white photos of the captain in a museum, although the comparison between the black and white photos and the real person is a bit distorted, based on the captain holding the same shield, exuding a sense of justice, and feeling the power far beyond ordinary people. It can be concluded that it is indeed the captain of Country M." Diana's voice was not too loud, but not too small. As soon as the words Captain M came out, everyone was stunned. The three Spider-Mans were shocked and looked at the captain with excitement. Some of the three villains were terrified and unbelievable. Chapter 37 Wonder Woman vs. Superman. Who is the captain of Country M? He is a banner of justice, representing peace and Country M. It was he who led the soldiers to destroy Hydra and won the victory of World War II. Over the years, Captain M has been deified. There are comics, movies or memorial museums about the captain. It is precisely because the captain has such great prestige that, under the suggestion of Nick Furtuin, the captain consciously chose to retreat behind the scenes and no longer appear before the world. This choice is undoubtedly correct. If the captain does not know how to advance or retreat, then he, who continues to live in front of the world, will stand on the heads of all those in power because of his deified status. This kind of thing, those in power will not accept it. It is unbearable, and they will definitely find a way to kill the captain. There is a saying that it is difficult to guard against thieves day and night. No matter how vigilant the captain is or how strong his strength is, as long as it is not the regenerative healing factor, there will always be a day when he faces the various calculations of those in power. It doesn't take much, just one blow is the day the captain dies. Therefore, the captain of the quick retreat, because of a wise decision, can live to this day. That is why, even though the captain has been acting secretly and has been carrying out all 9 missions for justice, very few people know that he is still alive. Not even the president of Osborn Industries knew about it. Not even Tony knows, unless one day he lets Jarvis hack into S.H.I.E.L.D.'s file system. The captain, who has been hiding his identity for so long, finally revealed his identity to Diana today. In fact, before this, the female Superman Kayla had seen the captain and had vague guesses. "Are you really the captain of Country M?" Lightning Thompson asked in a panic. It was as if the great man he had always admired was suddenly resurrected, still in a hostile relationship. Thompson couldn't calm down at all. He didn't run away in fear, or because he had the strength. He had the courage to confront the captain. "Yes, I just..." The captain sighed helplessly. Since his identity was exposed, it is not easy to hide it now, so he has to admit it. Suddenly, a shocking change occurred. A red figure descended from the sky at high speed. There was an M on the mouth of Moonhung. It was the female Superman Kayla who arrived. She launched a sneak attack, and the target was the captain. "Be careful." Among the 99 people at the scene, only Diana was able to intercept it in time. At the same time as Roar shouted, she had already rushed in front of the captain, holding the divine shield in her left hand and pushing it up, while her right hand threw the captain behind. There was a loud bang, like a drum rumbling in the sky, causing everyone's heart to skip a beat, as if their hearts were about to jump out. In the surrounding buildings, the glass shattered, and some unstable furniture kept shaking and fell to the ground, and there was a sound of crashing and falling to the ground. Looking at the scene again, I saw Kayla's right fist resting on the divine shield, maintaining a diving posture, head and foot. And the ground under Diana's feet had collapsed, forming a bowl-shaped pit with a diameter of more than 10 meters. But looking at her expression of not struggling, the divine power shield in her left hand is still firmly on top. You know that she still has spare. It's a formidable enemy. Kayla frowned, thinking in fear. Such a powerful force. Are you the god of Ares, the god of war? Did he send you to kill me? Diana jumped over the divine shield, looked at Kayla, and said something that made people scratch their heads. Kayla retracted her fist, flew back, stood 10 meters away, and said in a condensed voice, I don't know what you're talking about. The people I want to kill are not you, but them. She pointed at the captain and the others. Diana turned her head to look at the captain with a serious look on her face, thinking he understood, and said, it turned out that the target was them, and it really was the conspiracy of Ares in the battle suit. He wanted to kill all the partners of justice, so that he could easily pick them up. So, as long as you haven't committed an unforgivable crime and have a chance to leave the evil camp, return to the embrace of justice. Diana's kind words of comfort made Kayla hear black lines on her forehead, and several black question marks appeared in her head. She could hear the words, but the combination made her stunned. What does that mean? The rest of the people also twitched at the corners of their mouths, looking at Diana with strange expressions, and they began to feel that something was wrong with their brains. Ha ha ha, I'm dying of laughter. I'm really going to die of laughter. Oh, my stomach hurts from laughing. It can make me have this illusion, and only you can do it. 99 Tang Feng laughed breathlessly on the roof, looked at Diana below, and kept patting the ceiling wall with his hands. Damn, I haven't laughed so much in a long time. It's really the life of a dead person. I really don't know what you're talking about. Everything I do is not to obey the orders of Ares, the god of war, but a decision from the heart. So, stop saying things that people don't understand. I'll say it again now. I don't want to be your enemy, and please don't interfere with what I'm doing. After saying the last sentence word by word, Kayla bypassed Diana and attacked the captain again. The first target she wants to kill is always the captain. Oh no, as long as the captain is killed in front of the public's eyes, and then his true identity is announced, it will bring a heavy blow to the world. In this way, it will be very helpful for her to do so in the future. Therefore, she learned from Hydra that the captain and others have been dispatched again, and before Hulk followed her, she had the determination to kill. What she didn't expect was that a sick goddess of war suddenly appeared, but she was also very strong and nosy, blocking her deadly blow. Brush! A fiery red sword shadow flashed past. Kayla's pupils shrank, and she hurriedly dodged even with her steel body. This is Diana's shot to intercept again. Do you really want to be my enemy? Kayla was floating in the air, the red cape fluttering in the wind, the cold words and the murderous face, all brought 99 the female Superman who has been classified into the evil camp. I must defeat you here, let alone watch you kill people. 99 Please remember the name of the warrior who will defeat you. My name is Diana. Diana held the shield in her left hand and shielded it in front of her, and slammed the Vulcan sword in her right hand on the divine shield. She said solemnly. Chapter 38 The Problem of the Gods. Diana's official statement to Kayla is like a self-introduction in mythology. I am a subordinate of a certain god, and I am here to conquer evil. Please, now is a new century, and I have long not believed in any god, even if it is a god. Buddha, Jade Emperor, Sand King, etc., are also the objects of trust for believers. But in my heart I don't believe that there is a true God. So what Diana said was a joke. However, the people at the scene did not laugh, because Diana was serious now and exuded a powerful and oppressive aura, which made people unable to laugh. With the power to fight against the female Superman, such a strong goddess of war cannot be a lunatic, and what she said may be true. If the rest have doubts, then the female Superman Kayla has already chosen to believe it. She believes that the god of destiny exists, so gods like Zeus and Ares, the god of war, can also exist. It turns out that you are the fifth. I understand what you said before. However, I must first say that I am not the god of Ares, the god of war. I The Superman Kayla, am the god of great destiny. Kayla showed a sudden realization and introduced herself sternly. God of destiny? I heard that the god of fate is a god more powerful than Father Zeus. He can control the fate of all things in the world. I didn't expect you to be his god. 99 As the god of destiny, you are now doing evil things. Is it because you have received a divine decree from him? Diana frowned at first, then Roar cried out in surprise. Obviously, as the daughter of Zeus, the princess of Paradise Island, she can access the true secrets of the world, and she also knows that the god of fate really exists. In her opinion, the god of fate is indeed greater than Zeus. There is no doubt about it, because Zeus, the father who called her, or her mother, when talking about the god of destiny, they are all vaguely revealed in this way. Zeus himself felt inferior. In fact, Tang Feng is the true god of destiny, but gods like Zeus, Odin, the leopard god, the Jade Emperor are just false gods. They were originally only 5th level, and it was because of their race that they were able to live for thousands of years to tens of thousands of years. On this planet, they possessed 5th level power, and after living for so long, they were regarded as gods by humans. If it is a true god, he will not die of old age at all. In the original movie Synopsis, the dignified Odin would fall into a deep sleep due to aging, and it can be inferred from this that he is just a false god. Diana did not know the difference between true gods and false gods, and neither did Kayla. When talking about gods, they all looked respectful. No, what I do has nothing to do with the god of destiny. It's just a spontaneous action, but I think that the god of fate is the existence that controls all fate, and what I do now must also be instructed by him. Kayla first denied, then firmly believed. As soon as she finished speaking, she was stunned for a moment. She swears that when she said the last sentence, she didn't think much and said it subconsciously without going through the brain. Thinking about it now, guessing based on the authority of the god of fate skill, perhaps it is really like what she said. Everything she does is influenced by the god of fate. So, I can become one of the lucky ones among hundreds of millions and become a female Superman, including my life course, and what I have to do now, is the big ones manipulated. While speaking, Kayla looked at the strong hands with a blank look in her eyes, and then quickly returned to King Ming. As a believer of the god of fate, didn't you already know that the god of fate can control the fate of all things in the world? What about manipulating your fate? Isn't it a natural thing? She has already seen through the nature of human beings and has realized it. Regardless of whether there is the influence of the god of fate, everything she has experienced before has been experienced by her. We cannot deny everything that has happened because of the existence of the god of fate. All of the above are Kayla's thoughts. She firmly believed in her heart and said to Diana, maybe what I want to do now is also the meaning of the god of fate. So daughter of Zeus, do you really want to fight me? Fight against me is to stand on the opposite side of the god of fate. Kayla is trying to use the prestige of the god of fate to scare Diana and prevent her from doing what she is going to do. No, you are wrong. Maybe I appeared here today to be your enemy and prevent you from killing people, which is also the meaning of the god of fate. 39 Although Diana always said something to make people laugh, she was not stupid, but very smart. No matter what the god of fate meant, she understood it anyway. In this way, even if it is against the female Superman, it is not against the god of fate on the bright side. Even if she is not afraid of battle or death, she is not a person who seeks death, and will not try to challenge the god of fate. Then there is nothing funny. Let me see how powerful the daughter of Zeus is. 35 Kayla took a deep breath, clenched her fists, lifted her feet off the ground, and slowly flew through the air. Let's go. I also want to know how strong the female Superman is, Diana said. The fighting spirit was boiling. At this point, the two women are about to officially start a war. The invisible oppression they exude makes the people around them feel uneasy before the fight. And they hurriedly retreated into the distance. Did you hear that? Not only is there the god of fate, but also Zeus, so do the gods of mythology still exist? If the gods are alive, where are they? 99 Retreating into the distance, the captain couldn't help his doubts and asked. Faced with this question, Black Widow, Carter, and Winter Soldier shook their heads and couldn't answer. After this incident, maybe we should have a good chat with her. 99. The captain also knew that no one was answering. He looked at Diana and said. At this moment, there were two flirtatious shouts. Kayla and Diana were already fighting together. Their attack speed is very fast, and the two figures are entangled. With the eyes of ordinary people, it is impossible to tell who has the advantage and who is who. Chapter 39. A miracle? It's strange. In the eyes of the ordinary people in the distance, they saw two after-images. In the eyes of the captain and the others, what they saw was a wonderful battle that was evenly matched. The three Spider-Men looked on in shock. Roar spoke, and the three villains were also dumbfounded. Compared to their power, their own power was really not worth mentioning. What? The two screams sounded again, and the two figures who were fighting paused for a moment. I saw the female Superman block the Vulcan sword with her left fist and punch the divine shield with her right fist. The two competed with each other, temporarily stalemate. What a powerful artifact! If you don't rely on these artifacts, you only rely on your own strength. Although it is very strong, it is not my opponent. Kayla raised her eyebrows and said confidently, "You are right. But these artifacts are my equipment and my power." Diana took a deep breath, and there was a little sweat on her forehead. The previous fight had cost her a lot of physical strength. As Kayla said, she is indeed not an opponent, and can only temporarily resist by relying on an artifact. When she consumes most of her power, even if she has an artifact, she can no longer resist the female Superman. Unlike her, the female Superman is bathed in the sun, and the strength is constantly flowing. I was really surprised. I didn't expect that the sharpness of the Vulcan sword would actually hurt you. Oh, Diana looked at the fist that blocked the Vulcan sword and couldn't help but say in admiration, "HMPH. This is the power drawn from sunlight. I call it the energy of the magnetic field of life." Even if there is a layer of energy to protect the fist, it is not the Vulcan sword that hurts you. Kayla grunted. The Vulcan sword had hurt her fist, but because the wound was shallow and the original regeneration ability was restored in just a few seconds, it seemed that she had not been injured. As the two were talking, Kayla attacked without warning. Her eyes shot out two heat rays, aimed at Diana's head. In terms of the distance between the two, they were too close. As soon as the two heat rays shot out, they had already reached Diana's eyes. Diana was shocked. Without hesitation, she quickly let go of the shield and sword in her hands, retracted both hands, touched it in front of her, and the silver guardian bracelet on her wrist immediately burst out. A powerful energy wave. Bang! The energy wave protecting the silver bracelet blocked the two heat rays. Due to the collision of energy, a powerful shockwave erupted, blowing them both away. Good opportunity. As Kayla was flying back, she saw that both the divine shield and the Vulcan sword had been blown away. Ajay, no longer Diana, and realized that this was an opportunity to kill a powerful enemy. Therefore, after she stopped flying upside down, she immediately flew towards Diana, shouted, and concentrated her entire body's strength into her fist and shot it out. Diana also knew that the situation was not good, so she quickly stabilized her body, crossed her hands to protect the front, and the energy wave guarding the silver bracelet formed a protective shield. With Kayla's punch at full force, the protective shield was violently broken, and the strong impact caused Diana to fly upside down again, and she groaned and suffered some injuries. Under the recoil of the force, Kayla's figure paused, then stared blankly and continued to attack. I saw Kayla's fists. It looked like a little girl's fist, but it was absolutely powerful. It could easily destroy a building, and if it hit the ground, it could destroy the entire kilometer range. Such a pair of strong fists kept hitting Diana. Diana's response was quick. She gritted her teeth and used the silver guardian bracelet to continue blocking from left to right. Although she was constantly being beaten and her injuries were getting worse, she at least managed to save her life. This time, their battle was not only more intense, but it also caused great damage to the surrounding environment. Buildings were destroyed by them. Innocent people died as a result of the battle because they couldn't escape, and many people were desperate as they screamed in panic. Seeing the building collapsing, they could only follow and jump, hoping there would be a way out. Because of these tragic situations, Kayla has been hard-hearted and ignored, only focusing on killing Diana. The matter of killing the captain should be left as an afterthought, since he is hostile to Diana and is so strong. He will kill Diana's threat first. You shouldn't be able to fly. After the previous battle, Kayla had already tried it. When Diana flew into an upside-down building and then crashed, she first flew under it and punched upwards, saying at the same time. Diana had no time to think about it. She hurriedly turned around and blocked his fist with the silver guardian bracelet. In this way, due to the strong impact, her body flew upward involuntarily. Not good. Diana's heart was dark. Roar already knew Kayla's plan. She can't fly yet, and when she is in the air, she can only let Kayla attack. In the end, when the energy of protecting the silver bracelet is temporarily exhausted, or her injuries are too serious to endure, the female Superman will beat her to death in the air. This is a football tactic that suits the flying female Superman. This tactic works very well for Hulk and now for Diana. "You're dead," Kayla said with a sneer, knocking Diana further into the sky. Soon, they surpassed the kilometer and continued to ascend. If this continues, Kayla can take Diana off the planet and into the universe, until she kills Diana in the quiet universe. "No. What you said doesn't count." Diana resisted Kayla's attack and faced the dilemma of death. She didn't panic, her eyes were always clear and translucent, and she said firmly, "Who said I can't fly?" This was a rhetorical question. This unexpected remark made Kayla unconsciously stunned, and the fist that was about to be punched, stopped. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Diana burst out with all her strength, cooperated with the power of Guardian Silver, and touched her body forcefully, bursting out the most powerful energy wave. Kayla hurriedly protected her front with her hands, groaned in pain, and was dragged away. "I can fly." Contrary to Kayla, due to the recoil of the shock wave, Diana accelerated and flew upwards. She ignored it, took a deep breath, muttered to herself, and strengthened her beliefs. In terms of her power, she can fly, but she hasn't learned it yet, or awakened the flying ability. Fly. Under the unprecedented crisis of death, Diana's potential exploded. Following her scream, her body, which was flying upside down, stopped abruptly, and she immediately turned her posture, head and feet, and accelerated downwards, just in time. She greeted Kayla, who hurriedly flew upwards. Boom. The energy wave protecting the silver bracelet continued to erupt, forming a ring-shaped shockwave trail in the sky. Kayla was shocked, and with a muffled sound, she continued to fall, followed by Diana. What a great fight! Tang Feng sat on the edge of the roof with his feet in the air, watching the battle while eating potato chips and drinking Coke. There are so many miracles in the world. If it weren't for Tang Feng's help, Diana wouldn't be able to think of awakening at all. Chapter 40 In Diana's first meeting. Quickly, go save people. Go there. Go there. 39 Go, go, go. Act quickly. Fantastic. You did a great job. When there was a fierce battle above, the captain and others below were also busy saving people everywhere. Among them, the three Spider-Men are the most conspicuous. They turn around flexibly and take off between the collapsed buildings and skillfully use the spider web to save many people. While commanding the rescue, the captain couldn't help but exclaimed when he saw the performance of the three Spider-Men. "Wow, the captain praised me. Did you hear that? I'm really happy. This is the captain. I didn't expect that. Not only did he not die, but he was lucky enough to save people with him, and he also praised him. Really so happy." The three generations of Spider-Man happily chased after Roar like a child, and they did not delay in saving people, and kept scolding the other two Spider-Men. The other two Spider-Men are also very happy and have a sense of honor to work with great people. Be careful. At this moment, the first-generation Spider-Man noticed a flash of sword light under the collapsed building and rushed out. "Mom!" The third-generation Spider-Man let out a startled roar, rushed to the side and avoided it. He stood on the top of a broken building in shock, looked up, and saw that the sword shadow was the Vulcan sword, and there was a divine shield in the other direction, flying towards the sky. "Everyone be careful, you are going to be knocked down again." Hurry up and save people and leave. Searching for the direction in which the two artifacts were flying upwards, the third-generation Spider-Man noticed that there were two figures in the sky, fighting fiercely, and as he flew down, he quickly shouted to remind them. The captain and others also noticed it and accelerated the rescue action. Boom! Having landed 200 or 300 meters above, with a bang, the two figures collided and flew up again. Diana flew upside down and stretched out her hands to both sides, holding a sword and shield that flew up from below. Earlier, because Kayla kept attacking, she didn't even have a chance to catch her breath, so she couldn't be distracted by the summoning artifact. It was also because of Awakening's flying ability. With the strength to fight back, it was no longer a situation of being hit, so she was able to distract herself and summon the two artifacts back. Even if you take back the two artifacts, how much power do you have left now? Kayla wiped a trace of blood from the corner of her mouth with her hand and sneered. I have to say, the energy wave protecting the silver bracelet is so strong that it can hurt her. However, that's all. It can't threaten her life. Even if my strength is exhausted, I won't back down in the face of evil. Diana coughed up a mouthful of blood. She was seriously injured, her strength was greatly consumed, her spirit was greatly exhausted, and she was in a very bad state. But she was still not afraid of death. Okay, then you're going to die. Kayla shouted irritably and attacked again. When she saw Diana now, it was as if she saw herself in the past, with the same naivety and the same belief in justice. That was her running under the sunset, the lost youth gone forever. If you can't do it yourself, you can't watch others do it. Therefore, Kayla not only wants to kill Diana, but also drives her to despair and lets her know that her so-called justice, her so-called faith, is not worth mentioning at all. Next, I will destroy you and this city together. 99. After attacking for a while, Kayla leaned back, coldly shouted, flew above Diana, took a deep breath, and could see the invisible air being continuously sucked in. What do you want to do? Stop it. 9. Diana had a bad feeling and said loudly, wait. This is my super ability Roar. It can not only blow up tornadoes, but also icy cold currents. Now I'm going to freeze you in the new city below. 3. Kayla's words shocked Diana. She didn't expect it to be so cruel. This is tens of millions of lives. Kill if you want. The captain and the others below, because Kayla said it loudly, also heard it, and they all looked terrified. Even the three great villains are not calm and are not sure of surviving. There was no time for people to think about it. When Kayla exhaled, an icy current hit Diana first, and then the entire city froze. I won't let you do that. I will stop you. In the name of the gods, Diana shouted resolutely. The divine power shield hung behind her back, and she held the Vulcan sword tightly with both hands. All the remaining power poured into the sword, inspiring the divine power of the Vulcan sword. A dazzling red light bloomed on the Vulcan sword, like a flaming flame. Immediately afterwards, Diana raised her hands high, holding the Vulcan sword and slashing upwards violently. A flame slash collided with the icy current. 0. Ask for flowers. This is the battle between ice and fire, and the scene is undoubtedly amazing. No matter what special effects are, it can't be compared, because this is a real scene. Come on. The captain and the others below, all the ordinary people, even the three big villains, are all cheering for Diana, hoping that she can stop it. In the end, the ice and fire dissipated almost at the same time, and a rainbow appeared in the sky. Very beautiful. The brilliance of the Vulcan sword has dimmed. After this stimulation, she has temporarily lost her divinity, and it will take some time to recover. Moreover, Diana, she had exhausted her strength and couldn't even maintain her flight. Falling down, Kayla didn't expect that frozen breath would be blocked, and was stunned for a while. After realizing it, she saw that Diana had lost the strength to fight back, and couldn't help but sneer, and was about to fly down and kill. 0. However, good things come and go, and another accident happened. I just heard a loud roar coming from above Kayla. It turned out that a stealth fighter plane flew over at some point. Dr. Banner was on the fighter plane. He had transformed and jumped down. He hit Kayla from above and hit Kayla's back. Kayla was sent flying because she wanted to kill Diana and was unprepared for Hulk's attack. Then, Hulk rage roared, and with an astonishing jumping power, he caught up with Kayla, who was flying upside down. "Come on, make sure to catch her." The captain and the others below saw that Kayla was entangled by Hulk, and their hearts were relieved, and then they thought of Diana's fall and hurriedly went to the direction of Diana's fall. On the route of Diana's fall, there was a building that was not destroyed, but it tilted a little. It fell towards the back of the building, blocking the vision of the captain and the others. With a light click, Diana closed her eyes and was about to hit the ground hard, but she felt herself falling into a warm embrace. "It doesn't matter. You did well. Keep working for justice, Wonder Woman Diana." 35. Hearing this very magnetic male voice, Diana opened her eyes and saw a very handsome face. She was stunned for a moment and was gently placed on the ground. The man turned around and walked, and many more. Diana subconsciously spoke and reached out to hold him back, but a gust of wind blew her eyes closed. When she opened her eyes again, the man's back had long since disappeared. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 41. The Birth of Wonder Woman. The man who appeared was definitely Tang Feng. He took this opportunity to meet Diana first, leaving an impression in her heart. Because the captain and the others were about to arrive, he didn't want to appear in front of everyone so soon, so he left first. "That man, who is he?" Diana frowned tightly, feeling a sense of loss in her heart. Tang Feng felt too mysterious to her. Whether it was temperament, charm, he seems to be stronger than Father Zeus. As soon as this thought came to her mind, she subconsciously shook her head. In her opinion, how could there be a man comparable to Father Zeus? "Great, you're fine." 99. At this moment, the captain and the others arrived, and the three Spider-Men jumped out of the air one after another. The one who spoke was the captain. He was relieved to see that Diana looked confident. "I'm fine." 013. "Thank you for your concern." Diana disturbed the captain and the others' thoughts, came back to her senses, nodded slightly and thanked them. Then, she looked in one direction and said, "The female Superman is gone, so I should go too." As soon as these words came out, the captain and the others were stunned for a moment, and then they heard the Hulk's roar coming from the distance, and Kayla was sure enough gone. When she saw Hulk coming, she knew that there was no chance to kill her anymore, and staying here would only give Hulk a chance to kill her. Therefore, she decisively retreated. However, before she retreated, she took the opportunity to capture Dr. Lizard and Lightning Thompson. Their strength was good, so they took them as her subordinates. She did not take Green Goblin. She already knew Green Goblin's true face through fluoroscopy. Instead of taking Green Goblin away, it would be more useful to keep him in New York City. When Kayla returns to the hidden base, someone will contact Green Goblin and invite him to join. I believe he will not refuse, unless he wants to go bankrupt and die. With Kayla's departure, this battle has come to an end, not only preventing Dr. Lizard's conspiracy, but also saving the entire city. In all of this, Diana was the one who contributed the most, followed by Hulk. With her shock, Kayla would retreat. Once again, the three little Spider-Mans were the first to act, and at the cost of their lives, they dragged the three big villains away. As for the captain and the others, apart from the credit for saving people, they simply made a soy sauce. Wait a minute, we have some questions about what you said before the fight with the female Superman, and we would like to ask you about it. Seeing that Diana was about to turn around and leave, the captain hurriedly spoke to restrain him. Facing Diana's turn and looking into his eyes, he continued sincerely, "We need to talk." "Okay." Diana tilted her head and thought for a moment, then nodded. It is also because she is the captain of justice that she gives the captain a face. Otherwise, she will act on her own ideas and not care about the power of humans. Even S.H.I.E.L.D., no one can force her if she doesn't want to. Thus, Diana, Captain and the others went to S.H.I.E.L.D., as did the three Spider-Men, because they both have serious injuries, It is inconvenient to go home now. Hearing that S.H.I.E.L.D. has the best medical technology, the captain also promised that they can treat them for free, so they followed. The 3 Spider-Men healed and left S.H.I.E.L.D. 3 days later. Why don't we invite them to S.H.I.E.L.D.? Winter Soldier looked at the backs of the 3 Spider-Men swinging on the web and asked in confusion. They are still children and are not suitable to join S.H.I.E.L.D. for the time being. Let's think about it when they graduate. I'm sure they think so too. The captain shook his head. That's right. New York City needs them more than joining S.H.I.E.L.D. After they are more mature, we will consider inviting them. For now, our S.H.I.E.L.D. is not short of manpower, even if there are 3 more Spider-Men. Because in terms of overall combat power, the effect is not very great. Nick Fury appeared behind them and said in a deep voice. Besides the reason he said, there is another reason he didn't say. The parents of the 3 Spider-Men were all high-level agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They were great heroes. Therefore, he has preferential treatment for the son of the great hero, and he doesn't want to let the 3 Spider-Men enter a more sinister and complicated world so soon. So kind. But nothing like you. 35 Winter Soldier sneered at Nick Fury. Nick Fury glanced at him, didn't care, just said, come with me. I'm going to gather everyone and announce something. The captain and Winter Soldier looked at each other, raised their eyebrows, curious as to what was going on, and followed Zero. The 3 of them arrived at the conference room. Black Widow, Carter, Dr. Banner, and Diana were already here. Diana agreed to join S.H.I.E.L.D. after considering it to fight the female Superman, but she also said that she would not follow any orders, and would only consider acting with them when facing the female Superman, or some evil, depending on the actual situation. For this request, Nick Fury immediately agreed. After talking with Diana, everyone believed in the existence of gods, and they also knew that Diana was a powerful demigod who could live a long time and never age. For a demigod to join, they couldn't ask for it. Before we say things, let's welcome our new companion, the daughter of Zeus, the Princess of Paradise Island, Wonder Woman Diana. Nick Fury walked to his seat and took the lead in applauding. The captain and the others stood up, applauded together, and warmly welcomed Diana, the new companion. Diana kept smiling, stood up and nodded to everyone, then asked suspiciously, Wonder Woman? This name reminded her of what the mysterious man also said. Yes, your current title is Wonder Woman, which is the title everyone gave you, Nick Fury said, and put on a projector, which played all kinds of news, all about Diana's confrontation with the female Superman, and the heated discussion of the masses. Because Diana 4.8 came forward, all the people of New City can be saved, and the people who were saved are definitely grateful. On the other hand, they are also very happy to have a superhero who can fight against the female Superman. Not only a superhero, but also a woman, so beautiful and with so much last name, that she completely fits the female goddess of war in the myth of the world's imagination. There is no doubt that since the news about Diana broke out, she has gained a lot of fans all over the world. In just 3 days, the number of fans will exceed the digits. Note that it is in the single digit of 100 million. It's a good name for Raw. Diana accepted the name Wonder Woman, but she had a doubt in her heart, who did not know how the mysterious man knew it in advance. Then, after welcoming Diana, Nick Fury straightened his face and began to talk about business. Chapter 42, Revenge and Injustice. Fury's business is to start Avengers. It is still the same idea as the original movie, because he wanted to fight against the female Superman. He said the idea of Avengers in advance. Under the threat of the female Superman, no one objected, and it was easy to get the permission of the World Parliament. The newly established Avengers consisted of Captain, Black Widow, Carter, Winter Soldier, Dr. Banner and Wonder Woman Diana, a total of 6 people. By the way, Captain, you don't need to hide your identity anymore. We need you to stand up and fight evil. Before the meeting was over, Nick Fury spoke to the captain. Or because the female Superman is too strong and harmful, she almost destroyed the entire New York City before, and the people who have been worried are panicking. Although now not only Hulk, but also Diana, can fight against the female Superman. But destruction is easier than protection. If the female Superman really wants to destroy the city and kill people, no one can stop her. As long as you think about it, it is really a terrible consequence. So many people are terrified and frightened. In this way, the social order will not be stable and has already begun to become chaotic. This chaotic scene is like a war between countries. In this case, someone must stand up and stabilize the hearts of the people. In order to be able to do this, only the captain who has been deified can do it. I see. For things that are beneficial to the people, the captain never refuses, nodded solemnly, and there was no objection. Then, he shrugged his shoulders and said helplessly, "It seems that I am destined to be a big liar." What happened? Dr. Banner asked suspiciously. Ha ha ha, you may not know that 3 days ago, when he was saving people, he saved a cute little girl, and I was still a big fan of him. 99 The little fanatic recognized the captain and asked him if he was, and he lied and said, "Number." Winter Soldier smiled and explained. The captain touched his nose with a wry smile. He still clearly remembered that after he lied and said no, the little fanatic left in disappointment. He could have predicted that after he announced his identity, the little fanatic would become very angry and scold him, "Liar, big liar," and so on. HMPH, you are a big liar. Carter snorted at the side and left first. Yes, that's right. He's a great liar who specializes in deceiving women's feelings. The Black Widow smiled, put her hands behind her back, and reached for Carter. The captain's face was stunned for a moment, and then he helplessly complained, "I still remember this old thing. Women are really a kind of vengeful species. What's going on here? Does the captain have any romantic past?" Dr. Banner leaned into Winter Soldier's ear and asked in a low voice. Diana was also very curious about this and walked over quietly. The captain noticed what was going on behind him, but he didn't think it was a secret, so he shook his head and left. Cough, cough, it's like this. Seeing that the captain didn't stop him, Winter Soldier talked about the captain's past with great interest. Originally, before the captain was transformed by the serum, he was short and thin. No women liked him anymore, and Carter despised him. When the captain was training, because he saw his firm belief, Carter looked at him in awe. In a different way, but he couldn't say that he liked her. It wasn't until the captain accepted the serum transformation and became high and mighty that Carter had the idea of liking him. However, before the two could develop their relationship, someone stole the captain. After all, the captain who has become a super soldier, no matter his appearance or strength, is very popular with women. Especially in the barracks, there are a group of female hooligans, and the captain is as rare as a panda, and is a hot item. Therefore, the captain faced the crazy pursuit of many female hooligans. One of the glamorous female soldiers has many abilities, like a third-rate idol drama, creating a series of misunderstandings. When she approached the captain, Carter found out about it. As a result, when Carter saw that the captain was so easy to seduce, he felt that he was not a good man, so he no longer considered him. In fact, this result also has the influence of Tang Feng. It may be because of the thoughts that are exclusive to men. When Tang Feng was sleeping, his unconscious thoughts were very rampant. Carter and the captain are a pair of lovers, and their mutual feelings and encounters with each other are very touching. He just said no and separated them. Moreover, under his influence, Carter never married in his life, and Black Widow also kept herself clean. For so many years, they had been alone. If there was a need, they would solve it together with the sisters. That's right, they are a pair of lilies. This is something that all S.H.I.E.L.D. agents know. It is an open secret. For the past few decades, all the male agents who have joined S.H.I.E.L.D. have been heartbroken. These two beauties, how could they become a pair of hundreds? This is a sin. It is a sin committed by Tang Feng. Sister Carter, are you free tonight? The Black Widow caught up with Carter and asked meaningfully. Carter looked at the Black Widow and nodded slightly. They looked at each other and laughed at the same time, showing a look that they both understood each other. A male agent passed by. After hearing this, his body froze. He turned his head to 013 to look at the backs of the two women, and sighed inexplicably, which is a pity. Lily? Interesting. Tang Feng touched his chin, followed the two women, and walked upright towards the S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters, but everyone ignored his existence. He knew that Avengers had settled down today and was bored, so he came to see it. After the meeting, He became interested in the complicated relationship between Carter and Black Widow, so he followed them. Seeing that the two women entered Black Widow's house together, Tang Feng touched his nose, smiled, and walked in as well. "Well, this play is really wonderful." Tang Feng watched with interest, not wanting to see what was happening on Kayla's side. On the same day, a hidden base belonged to Hydra. Kayla and Mera are here, as are the current core members of Hydra, as well as Lightning Thompson and Dr. Lizard. The Green Goblin has also joined, but the person is not here and participated in this meeting by projecting a virtual image. They were sitting around a round table, listening intently to what Kayla was saying. "To fight against SHIELD, for the ideal of world domination, I now declare that injustice is officially established." Chapter 43, The First Battle of Revenge and Injustice. The newly formed Injustice is led by the female Superman Kayla, and the rest of the members are Mera, Dr. Lizard, Lightning Thompson, and Green Goblin. There are also high-level members of Hydra: Viper, female, good with whips, flying darts, and various high-tech weapons, Baron Strucker, Baron Zemo, including the former director of Pierce who is still hiding in S.H.I.E.L.D., Special Forces Captain Crossbones, and Anim Zola, who has become an artificial intelligence. There are 11 members in total. From this day on, both the Avengers and the Injustice Alliance have been established. The world that was originally peaceful is destined to be turbulent, and there will be no peace. 3 days later, Injustice began its first collective action. Sure enough, Pierce and Crossbones did not participate because they wanted to continue hiding in S.H.I.E.L.D. as spies. In a small country in the Middle East, a war is going on. It is an internal struggle between those in power and the rebels. When they were fighting fiercely, the female Superman Kayla took the lead and swooped down from the sky. Boom! Kayla fell fiercely to the center of the battlefield, making a loud noise, smashing the ground into a crater with a radius of 100 meters, and a strong shockwave erupted, sending everyone around her flying. Because of this change, the war stopped, and everyone looked at the female Superman Kayla, who stepped out of the dust step by step. "From now on, this country will be taken over by our Injustice, and those who submit will live and those who resist will die." Kayla looked at the crowd and coldly shouted, "This country belongs to us, get out of here, female Superman." After the scene was silent for a while, the leading general of the army belonging to the ruling party stood up and shouted, "Then you will die." Kayla came behind him at a super-fast speed, gently swung her right hand over his neck, and killed him. "The general is dead, damn it." Everyone opened fire and killed the female Superman with the general dead. A few loyal men attacked Kayla while screaming in pain. Kayla did not hold back her hand, and anyone who dared to attack her would be killed. It didn't take long for anyone who dared to shoot at her to be killed. At this point, all the soldiers in power were afraid. They looked at Kayla in fear and kept retreating. The rebel army on the other side is also afraid to retreat. They also know how powerful the female Superman is and do not dare to attack. However, they are not willing to give up just like that. "Female Superman, the mission has been completed, and the high-level members of the two forces in this country have killed us." This sentence was directly communicated to Kayla through a small communicator inserted in her ear. "You are doing well." Kayla nodded in satisfaction. The country has no officials in power, only ordinary people. In this way, no one takes the lead in resistance and it is easy to give up. The result was not an accident. On the bright side, Kayla used force to suppress, and Mera, Green Goblin, Dr. Lizard, Lightning Thompson and others cooperated, and always suppressed the resistant army to death. Secretly, there are Baron Strucker and others who keep killing. As long as a leader is chosen, they will kill once. In addition, Animzola's artificial intelligence has already monitored the communication in this country. Under its control, all contact with the outside world cannot be sent out, and the outside world would not be known for the time being. In this way, in just 4 days, this small country, without external support, was already afraid of being killed, completely lost its will to resist, and surrendered to the Injustice Alliance. After subduing a small country, the Injustice Alliance's actions are not over yet. Next, they attacked a neighboring small country. Following the same routine, they subdued this small country in just 2 or 3 days. Then, move on to the next small country. Because it is located in the Middle East, it does not have much international influence. In addition, Animzola blocked all communications and cut off contact with the outside world. What the Injustice Alliance did, it was not realized for a while. The outside world noticed. It was not until more than 10 days later that S.H.I.E.L.D. was the first to react and urgently sent the Avengers. By the time the Captain and others went to the Middle East, 4 small countries had already been subdued by the Injustice League. Now Kayla and others are about to conquer the 5th small country, which is close to the Americas. Because it is too close, even if all communications are blocked in time, the movement caused by the outbreak of the war cannot be completely concealed. Therefore, it was inevitable that S.H.I.E.L.D. would notice. Injustice is conquering the 5th small country and is at a critical moment. Even if they know that the Avengers are coming, they do not want to stop and leave. If at the last moment, this small country is successfully subdued, even if they temporarily retreat, it will be a foregone conclusion. Because running the country does not require Kayla and others to go out. As long as they organize their own people like those in power in these small countries, having become a subordinate of the powerful, it is enough to maintain an attitude of resistance to the Injustice Alliance on the positive side, and will not be targeted by the Avengers. After all, the Avengers represent justice, and without sufficient evidence, they cannot interfere in the affairs of other countries. It's a pity that the Avengers have arrived too quickly, and Kayla and others have not yet conquered this small country, and they are almost there. 6 vertical bar. All members gather. War. 35 Kayla floated in the air and looked at the Avengers and the others coldly. After giving them a cold drink, she rushed towards Hulk first and easily drove him away. The next shot was Mera. The well water, groundwater or river water within a 1,000-meter radius was drawn out by her, gathered into a monstrous wave, and pressed down on the Avengers and others in a powerful way. Diane, good, Na stood up, crossed her hands in front and touched it hard. A powerful energy wave erupted from the Guardian silver bracelet, blocking the huge wave. Kayla, Mera, Hulk, Diana, the 4 of them are top-level combat powers, and they have already fought one-on-one. The rest of the people followed suit. A tumult. This is the first battle between Avengers and Injustice. This confrontation is just the beginning, and there will be many confrontations after that. All of this was manipulated by Tang Feng. As always, Tang Feng was standing on the roof of a building, as a spectator, watching these people fight. What ordinary people see is a fierce battle, but Tang Feng is different. What he sees is an intertwined fate, and the trajectory of destiny that belongs to each person is changing. Chapter 44 The Battle of Iron Man. A fierce fight that lasted for several hours ended in a lose-lose situation. Neither side has an absolute victory. The battle strength of the 2 sides is half a pound, and everyone retreated with injuries. Comparing the numbers of the 2 sides, Avengers has 6 people in total, including Captain, Hulk, Wonder Woman, Black Widow, Carter, and Winter Soldier. Injustice League members included female Superman Kayla, Mera, Dr. Lizard, Lightning Thompson, Green Goblin, Viper, Baron Strucker, and Baron Zemo, a total of 8 people. Although it seems that the Injustice Alliance has a larger number of people, compared to the overall combat power, it still does not have much advantage. The first is Kayla's fight against Hulk. She simply attracted Hulk and would not fight Hulk at all. Otherwise, the result of Hulk's anger is that she was choked and beaten. Then Mera versus Diana, and unlike Kayla and Hulk who left the battlefield, they were in the chaos of the battlefield and the fight took place. After a battle, Mera lost to Diana. Before she mastered Aquaman's artifact Trident, she was weaker than Diana in terms of strength. Therefore, Diana not only pressured Mera to fight, but also attacked other members of the Injustice League with a 1-7 hearts and supported her comrades. It was thanks to Diana's help that the Avengers were able to remain undefeated when the battle began. However, it is also very difficult to obtain absolute victory. Although Mera lost to Diana, when she proved that she was at a loss, Dr. Lizard and Lightning Thompson came to help, and they were finally able to entangle Diana. Mera's tactics are also very embarrassing. She has learned well, and she does not take it head-on, manipulating the flow of water, like a long-range magician, hiding in the distance and using various water magic attacks. As long as she can entangle Diana, don't look for merits, but don't look for faults. Have you contacted Hulk? Flying back to the shield fighter plane, Avengers and the others sat quietly. Everyone was injured, and they were all thinking about the previous battle, and their mood was very low. After all, although they knew that the female Superman Kayla was strong, they formed Avengers, with Hulk and Diana as two superior combat forces, and thought they could win from the beginning. As a result, no one thought that the female Superman would also have so many helpers, form an Injustice League, and fight against their Avengers. The captain took the initiative to shake off his depressed mood, regain his strength, and asked, "It doesn't matter if he doesn't win this time. He firmly believes that justice will triumph over evil and win one day. I have already contacted Dr. Banner, and according to the location displayed on the locator, I am now flying a fighter plane to pick him up." Black Widow spoke while driving the fighter plane. It would be nice if Hulk didn't attract the female Superman so easily. Carter sighed. It's probably difficult. Although Hulk is very strong, he is also very irritable. Before the battle, it was a good thing that he didn't turn around and hit us. The Winter Soldier spread his hands and said helplessly, "Hulk's problem cannot be solved. We can only see if Dr. Banner can communicate with Hulk as soon as possible and establish a good relationship with each other." The captain shook his head with a wry smile. "Actually, if I can become stronger and defeat that woman named Mara as soon as possible, I can win." Diana said sadly, "You've done a good job, don't take it too seriously." The captain said comfortably. The rest of the people also nodded. If Diana hadn't stepped in to help from time to time, it was very likely that they would have been defeated. Not both. It's also a superior combat power. Compared to Hulk, Diana is a little weaker, but she is still very reliable. On the other hand, the Injustice League and others were also in a very dispirited mood, all injured, waiting for Kayla to return. It wasn't long before Kayla flew back. Mara stood up first and blamed herself, Ajay, and said, "It's all my fault that I'm too weak to tangle Wonder Woman, so I can't win the battle." "No, it should be our fault. Obviously you tangle Wonder Woman, but we couldn't win without defeating the captain and them as soon as possible," Baron Strucker said loudly. In the battle, he unites Baron Zemo, Viper, Green Goblin, Battle Captain, Black Widow, Carter, Winter Soldier. You don't have to be so frustrated. Although this battle is impossible to win, it is not lost either. This proves that we, Injustice, can stand up to the Avengers. As long as the Avengers are defeated, then S.H.I.E.L.D. will have nothing to fear, and the path to world domination will no longer be hindered. So now is not the time to be frustrated and blame yourself, but to figure out how to defeat the Avengers in the battles ahead. 35 Kayla looked at everyone, shook her head, and said seriously, "He, the female Superman is right. Now that the Avengers have retreated, our plans to dominate the world can continue, and here are the details of those countries." 35 There is also a plan on how to conquer one by one. It depends on how the female Superman chooses. Through the micro-communicator placed in the ear, the artificial intelligence Animzola transmitted all the information to each person's smartphone. She said loudly, "You did very well." Kayla nodded and praised while flipping through the phone, and before Animzola could speak proudly, she reminded with a cold face, "However, I can do whatever I want and I don't need to follow your plan. You remember?" After she finished speaking, she looked at the human head symbol on the screen of her mobile phone with a murderous aura in her eyes. "I remember," Animzola simply confessed and did not dare to disobey Kayla's words. Kayla nodded in satisfaction, and then led the crowd, also left first, returned to the hidden base and temporarily rested and recuperated. The matter here ended. Tang Feng went to watch another wonderful drama. "I saw two steel robots fighting on the street. One robot is tall and loaded with firearms of all kinds. The other robot was very thin and small, similar in size to an ordinary person, and had no firearms, only energy waves from its palms, or hand-to-hand combat as a means of attack." Tang Feng sat on the top of the large arc reactor. It can be regarded as a large generator. All the electricity of Stark Industry is provided by it. Watching the play with relish, What happened in front of him was exactly the story of Iron Man. In his original universe, he missed this scene, and now he can finally make up for it and watch it again. Chapter 45 Tang Feng has acted. As for Tony's battle, nothing unexpected happened in the end, and he still used the energy of the large arc reactor to kill Obadiah Stani. This is also because Tang Feng only watches dramas and does not make trouble, so Tony can destroy the enemy so easily. After all, they are acquaintances, so Tang Feng did not embarrass Tony. After watching the play, Tang Feng quietly left. In the following days, Tony revealed the identity of Iron Man and joined the Avengers. With Tony's new combat power, in the battle between the Avengers and the Injustice Alliance, he was already able to take the upper hand. Because Injustice keeps attacking, trying to conquer all the small countries first, then the big ones, and finally rule the world. The Avengers will definitely not let the Injustice League triumph, and they are also frequently dispatched. They have fought against the Injustice League many times, and they can almost always destroy the Injustice League's plan. It must be said that Tony played a very important role in the battle against Injustice. His intelligent brain, his steel battle suit, and his artificial intelligence, Jarvis, are the keys to victory in battle. In this way, every action failed. Everyone in the Injustice League hated Tony to death. Except for the hated Tony, there is also a lot of hatred for the rest of the Avengers. In fact, as the conflict progressed, people on both sides became angry, and the shooting became more and more ruthless. Although the Avengers stopped Injustice's world domination, when the two fought each other, they caused great damage to the surrounding environment. The battle between Hulk and Kayla was undoubtedly the most dynamic, and the damage was also the greatest. Destroying a few streets was still relatively light. At one point, it destroyed about 60 to 70% of a medium-sized city. On another occasion, the capital of a certain country was completely destroyed, and the rulers of that country, a large number of officials, did not have time to evacuate, and unfortunately died. Following the battle between Diana and Mara and others, the scope of the destruction was also very large, and there were many people killed by mistake. Even the captain, Baron Strucker and the others, each of them are super soldiers stronger than ordinary people, let go of their hands and feet and start hand-to-hand combat. They can disturb the tranquility of several blocks, causing many casualties and chaos. Even Tony was no exception. In order to fight Injustice, he had to carry a lot of powerful heat weapons in his battle suit. As long as these heat weapons are used in the city, no matter how much Tony pays attention, they will always destroy the surrounding environment and accidentally hurt many people. In this sense, not only Tony is very guilty, everyone in Avengers is very guilty, but in order to fight Injustice, they had to make a move. Just like Nick Fury's original intention of creating Avengers, we may not be able to prevent the destruction of evil criminals and the invasion of aliens, but we can choose revenge. 3 months later, Injustice still hasn't given up on its ideal of world domination and continues to do things. Avengers are still sent to defeat Injustice again and again. Although the two sides are fighting as usual, because of their influence, the world has been chaotic. Every time, their battles will cause great damage to a certain country and cause many casualties. The countries that made it so unbearable, the people in power in each country, gathered together and started the World Conference. Their original intention was to suppress the Avengers first, with the combined force of all countries, and let each superhero register with a real name and accept supervision. Then, led by various countries, deploying troops, deploying all kinds of hot war weapons, at all costs, to defeat the Injustice Alliance. This is what the countries think. They confidently believe that no matter how strong the Avengers and Injustice are, as long as humans cooperate with each other and rely on powerful heat weapons, they will surely be able to suppress all powerful super abilities. Asking for flowers, however, they thought too simply. Modern heat weapons are very powerful. Nuclear bombs, hydrogen bombs. These heat weapons can threaten the lives of Kayla, Hulk, Mara, Diana and others. However, as long as you are not stupid enough to take it the wrong way, you can avoid it in advance. Therefore, Injustice and others do not really care about the Union of Nations. They firmly believe in one thing: As long as the Avengers can be defeated, no one can stop the pace of world domination. Will this plan really work? The hidden base located 100 meters underground, where the Injustice Alliance and others gathered, was what Mera asked Anim Zora confused just now. 0. He, don't worry, it will definitely succeed. 35 Superhero Avenger, no matter how righteous you are, there are people who don't want to reveal their true identity and put themselves under supervision. Some people are unwilling and some are willing. There will be contradictions and disputes will lead to infighting, Anim said. Zora smiled grimly. There are undoubtedly two things that nations have done together, one against the Avengers and one against Injustice. As for the Avengers, Injustice was secretly involved. No, in fact, it was Anim Zola who first proposed the conspiracy, and Kayla agreed, and released Hydra's secret power to promote this to happen. In the plot of the original movie, it was because the superhero had to register with his real name and accept supervision, which triggered the Civil War. Now, with the threat of Injustice, it is unknown whether a civil war will occur in the Avengers. This matter is not known for the time being. The joint meeting of various countries is not progressing quickly, and everyone is fighting for greater interests. Tang Feng is not interested in watching these boring dramas. He has already left for Kamartaj in the Himalayas a long time ago. Chapter 46 Tang Feng vs. the Elder. He came. Kamartaj, the ancient one who was teaching magic to Doctor Strange, suddenly looked into the distance and sighed. Who? Doctor Strange asked suspiciously. Stephen Strange, listen, no matter what happens next, you are not allowed to interfere. You are still too weak to fight him now. Alas, even if you grow up in the future, there is a high possibility that you will not be able to fight him, but you are the next generation of the Sorcerer Supreme, and even if you cannot do so, you must bear this responsibility. 5 From today onwards, Kamartaj has been handed over to you, and it is time to take up the position of Sorcerer Supreme. Although it is too early to take up the position, there is nothing you can do. The Ancient One said helplessly, took off the Eye of Agamotto 017 that he had been wearing around his neck, and put it on Doctor Strange's neck himself. Then, the king and Mordo were teleported away by magic, and the decision of the next successor was announced to them. Wang was surprised and puzzled by the elder's decision, but he did not refute it. Madu nodded reluctantly. If it were not for the elder in front of him, he would not dare to disobey her. Otherwise he really wanted to oppose her on the spot. Madushi always believed that he was the only one qualified to serve as the next Sorcerer Supreme, but he did not expect to kill Cheng Yejin and take him away from Doctor Strange. He had resentment for it, and it was a seed that would one day grow into a towering tree, making him the opposite of Doctor Strange. Wait, Elder's Wizard, what are you doing suddenly? Why did you suddenly choose me as your heir? Did something big happen? Doctor Strange looked puzzled. He did not understand what was going on and asked anxiously. Wang and Madu were also puzzled by his question and looked at Ancient One together. That's because his time to die has come. That sentence came suddenly. It wasn't what Ancient said. But Tang Feng appeared and explained. Who are you? Modu opened his hands and a magic circle formed by magic appeared in the palm of his hand, and he asked Tang Feng with vigilance. Stop, step back, and step back you too. It's my business, you don't want to interfere. Ancient One took a few steps forward and stretched out a hand to stop the magic that Mordo wanted to use. As he spoke, he waved a hand and used the portal to send the three of them away. Tang Feng snapped his fingers, rendering the portal ineffective, and said with a chuckle, what are you doing in a hurry to send them away? Don't worry, I don't have the heart to kill them. 39 I came here today just to kill you. 5 Your death, I think there should be an audience, just let them stay and witness your death with their own eyes. Doctor Strange, Wang, and Mordo are all important characters, whether it is resentment, gratitude, or whatever, as long as they know of Tang Feng's existence, their fate will be involved with Tang Feng. The various causes and effects that occur in it will produce delicious materials. God of Destiny, even if you are as great as you, if you play with the fate of the world so recklessly, you will not end well in the end. The Elder Wizard saw that Tang Feng had stopped him and knew that he couldn't send the three of them away, So he waved his hand and sent the three of them into the distance to watch the battle, comforting Tang Feng. Ha ha ha. You are so ridiculous. 39 I am the god of destiny. If I don't play with the fate of the world, am I still the god of destiny? Also, whether it's your favorite Doctor Strange, Iron Man, or that superhero, I firmly believe that no one can defeat me. 5 Tang Feng laughed and said confidently, there are no gods on this planet for the time being, but what about foreign gods, for example, the 5 gods? 99 You act recklessly like this, and you will definitely attract their attention. Elder Wizard's peaceful way. Even if it is the 5 gods, I am not an opponent now, but I don't need to be afraid of them. 35 Tang Feng said proudly, even if he is temporarily weak, but he will not actually die, he no longer has to fear other powerful gods. It seems that you are determined to act recklessly. The ancient mage sighed calmly. She was not afraid of death, but she was worried about the future of this planet. She knew that when Tang Feng decided to kill her, she would not stop, but would continue to make a fuss until the target reached 0. Yes. Okay, don't talk nonsense, let's do it. Tang Feng simply nodded and said, out of the elder's respect, he gave her a chance to go all out. I see. My heir, please take good care of me, this is the last magic I will teach you. After the elder mage shouted, he made magic gestures with both hands, and the fluctuation of time appeared. I saw his phantom figure, like a duplication technique, split into countless duplicate entities, covered the earth and sky, and surrounded Tang Feng. This is time magic. These are not duplications, but ancient mages from the future or the past, each with similar powers. Next, there is spatial magic. Phantoms appeared in the sky, which were all from different dimensions. The power of these different dimensions was stolen from countless ancients, temporarily increasing their own strength. In this way, the strength of every ancient mage is infinitely close to the 6th level, plus countless ancients, with the same mind, the supreme magic used in cooperation with each other. Even ordinary 6th level gods can be destroyed. Kill the scum. The forces of all kinds of different dimensions are converging together to form a colorful energy sphere, and there are fluctuations in time and space, which can destroy everything and approach Tang Feng. Incredible. Doctor Strange sighed in surprise. Next, seeing the elder magician displaying such a strong magic power, he felt that even the so-called god of fate who suddenly appeared would not be an opponent. Wang and Modu also thought the same way. In Modu's heart, there was still an uneasy confusion. The elder magician borrowed the power of the alien dimension, which was a great taboo for magicians. The magic activated by the elder magician was very moving, and all the magicians in Kamartaj noticed it and looked up at the sky. Even ordinary people far away have noticed the shocking changes over the Himalayas. Tang Feng smiled lightly, slowly raised his head, ignoring the looming ultimate magic and the countless elder figures around him, and said softly, black holes. 35 Chapter 47, Dormammu and the Demon Lord join forces. As soon as he finished speaking, Tang Feng raised his right index finger, and a small black hole appeared at the tip of the finger. There was an infinitely strong suction force. As soon as it appeared, it sucked in everything around it, be it air, gravity, all molecules, atoms, etc. Even light could not escape. Around the small black hole, there was complete darkness. Strangely, Tang Feng was standing in the small black hole, but he was not affected, as if the entire body was not in a single dimension. In just 1 or 2 seconds, the suction of the small black hole had extended to the range of kilometers. Countless ancients, the energy sphere formed by the supreme magic, were also about to be sucked in. I saw that the figures of the ancients had no room to struggle at all, and were sucked into the small black holes one after another, transforming them into pure energy, enhancing the power of the small black holes. The energy sphere was also gradually sucked into the small black hole, like a snake swallowing an elephant. The small black hole was not very big and seemed to be only the size of a palm. The energy sphere has a file size of 1 kilometer, but the small black hole simply sucked the energy sphere in. The small black hole is like a gluttonous glutton. No matter what it is, it sucks everything in. Soon, the countless figures of ancient ones disappeared. The energy sphere also disappeared, and the objects within a radius of 1,000 meters disappeared. In the sky, only a black hole that stretched to the size of a face file remained. That deep hole seemed to lead to the boundless darkness of the abyss, which made people feel terrified and terrified. Whether it was Doctor Strange, Wang, Mordo, or other wizards, while mourning the death of ancient ones, they also looked at the black hole and Tang Feng in fear. Tang Feng looked down in the direction of Kamar-Taj, smiled lightly, pointed his hand, and the black hole fell there. Run away. Doctor Strange reacted first and reminded everyone with a loud shout, then opened the portal, hurriedly took some important things, and then hurriedly teleported away. The same is true for the other wizards. They also hurriedly took some things and used the portal to leave, and they were 10,000 meters away. If it weren't for Tang Feng's failure to kill their hearts, then with the powerful suction of the black hole, it would be impossible for them to have a chance to escape. Finally, the black hole fell, sucking Kamar-Taj and half of the Himalayas in. The mages, who had already reached 10,000 meters away, watched this scene sadly. They saw that the height of the Himalayas had been halved, which meant that their home had also disappeared. From then on, their group of mages are homeless wanderers. When the mages were stunned and sad, Doctor Strange regained his strength and said firmly, "Everyone, we don't have time to be in a daze here. The Elder Sorcerer Supreme is dead and our home is gone, but we still have magic power. There are still 3 holy places to protect. It is still our duty as mages to suppress the alien dimension and protect the world. Furthermore, the God of Fate who suddenly appeared after killing Elder and destroying our homeland is undoubtedly the greatest evil, and we must destroy him. Then, let's go to the Holy Land of New City to stay temporarily, and then consider the future." Doctor Strange turned and looked at all the mages, firm and mighty. "The new Sorcerer Supreme is right, I have no objections. The dead master decided to let you take the position of Sorcerer Supreme. I believe there must be no mistake." Wang was the first to stand up and said in support. The other mages, knowing that Doctor Strange was the new Sorcerer Supreme, also subconsciously maintained a respectful look, and no one objected. Madhu also nodded, but it is unknown what he was thinking in his heart. In this way, this group of mages went to the holy place of New City. As for Tang Feng, after killing the Ancient One, he left. He first returned to the New City to enjoy the huge resources. This time, he absorbed them and transformed them into power before continuing with the next action. However, although he is resting and practicing, he is not doing anything at all. Through the manipulation of fate, he has done everything right. At the junction of hell and the world, this is a dead and uninhabited zone. The sky is gray and the earth is barren. There is an old man standing here, holding a cane, as if he has been standing for a long time, and can remain standing until the sky grows old. After a long time, I heard him sigh, with deep fear in his tone, and towards the void direction, he said, "The elder is really dead. I have searched all over hell, but I still haven't found his trace." Don't have a mindset of chance. The one who made the shot will definitely be able to completely kill the elder. In the void, a deep voice appeared out of thin air, and a dark magic appeared, forming a phantom. That was the Dark Monarch Dormammu, and this old man is Mephisto, the devil of hell. "How is it? Have you made up your mind? Have you decided?" Dormammu then asked a question with no beginning or end. "Do you really want to do that? What if you still can't fight him? Then it's death." Dormammu hurriedly said, "Do you think it will be okay if you don't join forces against him? I have a feeling that killing the Ancient One is just the beginning, and I am his next target." Hearing these words, Mephisto sighed faintly. He also had this feeling in his heart. It was from the strong intuition of danger, and perhaps it was also influenced by Tang Feng. There is no other way but to do this. I haven't lived long enough yet. I hope that after facing him, I can survive. Although Mephisto cherished his life, he had lived for so many years, he had grown older, and he knew what was best for him, so he made up his mind and nodded. "Ha ha ha, good, good. The two of us have joined forces, and our planes have invaded Blue Star. The strength has doubled, it won't weaken, and we will definitely be able to fight it back," Dormammu said with a hearty laugh. "I hope so." Mephisto lowered his head and muttered to himself, sighed again and said, "It's a pity that Odin doesn't firmly agree to join forces against the enemy, otherwise the odds of winning will be even greater. Odin, that old man, will regret it, and when we reject him, we will kill him and completely occupy the 9 realms." Dormammu smiled, already fantasizing about a bright future. The corners of Mephisto's mouth twitched, and he shook his head helplessly. Before the result came out, he was not so optimistic. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 48. The invasion begins. The Dark Lord and the Demon of Hell have joined forces. Both have their own different dimension. Without the obstruction of the Ancient One, Doctor Strange has just taken over as the Sorcerer Supreme. As for what kind of invasion, Dormammu already had a good plan. He secretly seduced Mordo, and with the help of the mutineer Mordo, he could definitely destroy the 3 holy places. Without the 3 holy places as nodes of the suppression space, their alien space may be invaded. The same is true for Mephisto's Hell space. Hell is very large, like another universe. As a demon king, he is like a lord and has his own hell space. He can call out his own hell space and invade the blue star. As long as the blue star is transformed into a territory, his power can be greatly enhanced. If he and Dormammu shared the 9 realms space territory, their power could be raised to level 7. However, the premise is to overcome a life-and-death crisis first. Although the two of them are not completely confident, as long as their own alien dimension invades the blue star and is in their own domain, they will have infinite power, immortal and immortal. Even if they are only level 6, it is not an ordinary level 7. The gods can easily kill. Therefore, even if they knew that Tang Feng was strong, they still had some confidence to fight. Regarding their confidence, Odin was less optimistic. In the palace of Asgard, Odin, who is high on the throne, wearing an eagle helmet, golden armor, and holding the Spear of Eternity in his right hand, is already fully armed, waiting for the arrival of the battle of life and death. He possesses the Spear of Eternity, which not only has a powerful lethal blow, but also suppresses the mind and resists all spiritual invasions. Therefore, when Tang Feng manipulated his fate and his thoughts were affected by the invisible, he had already noticed it. He knew that if he followed Tang Feng's ideas, the 3 of them would join forces to fight Tang Feng. This result is what Tang Feng wants, which means that Tang Feng has the confidence to deal with the 3 of them. In this way, everyone knows that they can't fight, and Odin doesn't want to join forces with the 2 evil demon kings. Even if you die, you must die in an upright manner and with a clear conscience. Odin is waiting for Tang Feng's arrival, and the collaboration between Dormammu and Mephisto has already begun. In the holy place of New City, Modu wore a black robe, covering his face, and the magic power seeping from his body was already dark and full of evil. He has accepted the power of the dark alien dimension, that is, he became Dormammu's subordinate and can live forever since then. After letting go of the beliefs he has been holding in his heart and turning evil, Modo's heart is like letting go of his burdens and doing things as he pleases. It just so happened that Doctor Strange was temporarily gone, and no one could stop what he was going to do. Not even the king. There was a stabbing, the sound of a knife stabbing the body. Unprepared, Wang was successfully attacked by Mordu. He covered the wound on his abdomen in disbelief and slowly fell to the ground. A new era is coming. Let us welcome the great Dormammu. Modu dropped the blood-stained knife and gave Wang a cold look. He made no bones about the knife, and his mind changed greatly. He just wanted Wang to lose too much blood, die slowly, and experience the fear of death. Well, he turned to a gang of men who also accepted the power of the dark, alien dimension, transformed into evil wizards, raised their hands and shouted, like an evil leader, ready to start an evil ritual. Modu led his subordinates to destroy the holy place of New City, and with the convenience of the portal, he quickly destroyed the other 2 holy places as well. Everything happened too quickly, and the wizard defending it was killed, so no news could get out, and Doctor Strange was kept in the dark. It was also Wang who, with a firm will, dragged his severely injured body, opened the portal, left the sacred place of New City, and appeared where Doctor Strange was. It's not good. Madu has betrayed, and the sacred place of New City has been destroyed. Wang could only finish these words hurriedly, and then fainted. Listen to me. Now is not the time for human infighting. We have a powerful enemy, and he is the god of fate. At the Avengers headquarters, Doctor Strange is explaining to a group of superheroes what the tragedy of the wizard Camartage is, explaining the situation, and wanting to join forces against the enemy. At this moment, Wang suddenly appeared. King, Wang, what's wrong with you? Doctor Strange was taken aback at first, then squatted beside Wang anxiously, shouting worriedly, "He's dying, send him to be cured." The Black Widow can tell at a glance, she reminded. Fortunately, the Avengers headquarters has the best medical equipment and doctors, and Wang's life was saved after the rescue. The next day, Wang was already awake. What about the three holy places? As soon as Wang woke up and opened his eyes, he saw Doctor Strange and asked with concern. Doctor Strange was silent for a while, put a hand on his shoulder, patted him, and comforted him. You don't have to worry about these matters, we will take care of them. Holy place, is it all destroyed? Wang had already foreseen the outcome, the painful path. It's okay, no matter how bad things are, as long as human beings work together, they will be able to overcome the difficulties. Look at the superhero out there, against the Dark Monarch Dormammu. It's not just us wizards who can resist. Doctor Strange pointed to the outside of the window glass, and it was the Avengers and the others. I hope so. You know, it's not just Dormammu now, but also a god of fate, Wang said, feeling very helpless and pessimistic about the future. This was the cruel truth, and Doctor Strange was silent, not knowing how to comfort him. In the end, he also let out a long sigh and asked Wang to rest well, not to think too much, and then walked out. Everyone, superheroes, this planet has faced the most dangerous place, and a very powerful enemy is about to invade. No, he has invaded. When Doctor Strange walked out, facing the Avengers and the others, when he spoke very seriously, he noticed the darkness spreading from the sky. His face sank, and he changed his words. Chapter 49, Doctor Strange's Despair. The blue sky and white clouds were gradually covered with a layer of black. In the black shadow, layers of double images can be seen, suspected to be buildings, suspected to be unknown dark creatures. In this black shadow, there are a large number of humanoid figures, which are more eye-catching and eye-catching. That is a magical figure formed by a dark alien space, covering the entire sky, and the people in the entire range of New City can see it. This phantom figure is Dormammu, only to hear him let out a sneer and say the invasion declaration. Ignorant humans, from this moment on, fear, despair, more. I am the great dark monarch Dormammu, a powerful god. If you want to live, you can only submit to me and serve me as my lord. GGG. All those who do not surrender, those who deliriously resist, will all be killed. Dormammu's words spread throughout the entire New City, causing a lot of panic. Everyone was screaming and fleeing, but this was a catastrophe that could wipe out human beings, and there was nowhere to escape. When the dark alien dimension belonging to Dormammu invaded the Blue Star Plane, the subordinates of those dark creatures may already come first. I saw in the sky above the black sky, countless monstrous figures rushed out, covering the sky, emitting a tough and strange smile, and began to attack humans. I gave up and surrendered. Why are you still killing me? Those who were afraid of death chose to surrender the first time, but they were still killed. Those dark creatures didn't listen to them at all, they just wanted to kill. GGG. Dormammu stood in the dark alien space. He looked at Blue Star and kept laughing happily. As his alien space invaded Blue Star, he could feel that he was getting stronger all the time. This feeling is so cool. As for his subordinates killing those who surrendered, he didn't care at all, he just killed them. From the beginning, he planned to kill as many as possible. When he kills to the end, he is afraid of killing all the human beings, and he will no longer dare to resist. Then he will subdue the remaining human beings. In this process, How many people will die because of this? He doesn't care at all. Look, I have a way to deal with Dormammu, so wait, I will go to Dormammu's Zenithsphere alone. During this period, Ajay, you just have to protect the people. On the top of the Avengers headquarters building, everyone was here, watching the people around them being killed by the Avengers, dark creatures, and they were burning with anger. Before the action, Doctor Strange stood up. As the new Sorcerer Supreme, he did his part to take on the most important task, to defeat Dormammu. Are you sure? Tony asked with a serious expression. It's not safe for you to go alone. Dormammu is very strong, so I'll go too. Diana frowned and said worriedly, no need, facing Dormammu, even if you follow me, you will not be an opponent. I didn't think I could beat him, but there was a way to get him out of the way. Doctor Strange shook his head and said, Hulk can too? Dr. Banner doesn't quite believe it. He has always been very confident in Hulk's power, and even the female Superman can defeat him. In his opinion, he is really strong. Hulk is also no good. His power is not comparable to Dormammu. You should know that Dormammu, who lives in a different dimension, is a true god. If we delay any longer and wait until Dormammu's heterodimensional space and Blue Star's space are completely integrated, then even if Dormammu appears in Blue Star, he will still have the power of a god, and there will be no situation where his power will be diminished. 95 Doctor Strange felt the urgency of time, and after explaining clearly, he stopped wasting time, flew into the black sky above, and entered the dark alien space alone. Seeing this, the Avengers and the others no longer insisted, wishing Doctor Strange in their hearts and wishing him success, and then formed a team to fight against countless dark creatures and rescue people in danger. Damn, there are too many of these monsters, the third-generation Spider-Man said anxiously as he flew with the dark creatures and evacuated people to safety. By his side are the second and first-generation Spider-Men, who once again join forces to fight evil. However, compared to the last siege of more than 300 lizard warriors, this time, they felt even more helpless in the face of the dark monsters that filled the sky. At this moment, they noticed that the Avengers were also dispatched, and their decadent spirit was immediately shaken, and they had some confidence to overcome the crisis. Hulk, be as angry as you want and kill all the monsters. As Hulk roared into the sky and killed the dark creatures one by one, the captain shouted loudly as he killed the monsters. Unexpectedly, Hulk looked back and shouted to the captain, "Go away. Don't give orders to Hulk." Hulk hates orders. After Hulk roared, he leaped into the sky, then fell fiercely to the ground, trampled the monsters to death, and continued to beat them. Although Hulk is very brave, but because he only relies on a pair of fists to attack, he is a flesh and blood tank warrior, and the efficiency of killing the enemy is not comparable to that of Diana. Moreover, because there is no life or death crisis, Hulk's rage value cannot be increased at all, and it cannot be increased to 5 levels, that is, the combat power level is maintained at 4 levels. Therefore, the captain wanted Hulk to rage to his heart's content, and to upgrade to the 5th level of combat power. The efficiency of killing the enemy will be greatly accelerated. Who knows, Hulk is not ignorant at all, which makes the captain feel very embarrassed and helpless. There are too many of these monsters. No matter how you kill them, I hope the wizard can do as he says and make Dormammu retreat. 55 Diana held the Vulcan sword and cut the monsters into 2 pieces, thinking with worry. Not only she thinks this way, but the rest of the people also think this way and pray this way. However, the result disappointed everyone. After Doctor Strange left and entered the other dimension, about 20 minutes later, he finally returned. He fell from the dark sky and looked seriously injured. Mephisto, the devil of hell, I didn't expect that you would also invade, and joined forces with Dormammu. This is Doctor Strange's desperate anger, and his words are transmitted far away through sound magic transmission, reminding others. Demon of hell, the Avengers and the others, the 3 Spider-Men, all heard it, their faces startled, and they looked at the sky at the same time. Chapter 50 Reinforcements of Injustice arrive. Everyone looked at Haition and noticed a small old figure. Although it was inconspicuous compared to Dormammu's huge magical figure, because of the hellish aura it exuded, The presence was too strong to be ignored. He is Mephisto, the devil of hell. With his appearance, New City also appeared a double image. Like mirage, there was an illusory hell plane overlapping with New City. As long as Mephisto's hell plane invasion is complete, New City is hell, and hell is New City. Ah, devil, these are demons from hell. Help, help. Many people are screaming in fear. This is frightening. Everyone saw the scene of hell, the barren and dry land. There are crevices of lava flowing, even if they can't smell it for a while, but there seems to be a smell of sulfur in the nose. Since it is hell, there are definitely all kinds of demons, so ugly, weird, with sharp teeth, horns on their heads, or they have multiple heads, or they have many hands and feet, or big and small, all of them. It fits everyone's fantasies about hell demons. The real devil appeared in front of him, or was still by his side. What was even more terrifying was that the big mouth with drool was biting him and rushing towards him. In this situation, who is not afraid? Who is not afraid? Who is not afraid? Even the three Spider-Men hurriedly used the spider web to get away. The captain and the others jumped in fright and attacked subconsciously. Hulk also roared, hitting the surrounding hell demons. However, their attacks were all in vain, and similarly, all the attacks of these hell demons were also in vain, and no one was injured. The hell plane has just begun to integrate. Before there is a certain progress in the integration, hell and our planet are like two dimensions. Although they can see each other, they cannot touch each other. Doctor Strange flew back, saw their puzzled expressions, and explained. That's right. Everyone has an expression of sudden understanding, and is relieved to know that there is no need to deal with the hell demons for the time being. Then how long will it take for the hell plane to integrate to a certain level so that they can contact each other? Tony asked with concern, then confirmed, did you fail? Doctor Strange was silent for a moment, then reluctantly said, yes, I failed. I didn't expect the Hell Demon and the Dark Lord to join forces. When I used the time loop to trap Dormammu and wanted him to retreat, Mephisto made a sneak attack. If it weren't for the power of the Eye of Agamotto, and not in the plane of hell, Mephisto would have lost the power of the gods, and I was lucky to escape. Because of this, I lost the chance to defeat Dormammu. Doctor Strange showed a painful look, and then sighed. Unfortunately to tell you, without the three holy places to suppress the space nodes, the speed of invasion of the alien dimension is very fast. Now, the plane of hell has been integrated to a certain extent. As soon as this sentence was finished, everyone smelled a strong smell of sulfur, and there were screams around. They were the screams of ordinary people before they died, and they were demon slayers from hell. Hell and the world can already come into contact with each other. Ha ha ha, the world, I can finally invade it. In the sky, there was a burst of laughter with excitement. Mephisto's power began to increase, and he had returned to the level of a 6th-level god. It hasn't stopped, and it is still slowly increasing. Mephisto is like this, so is Dormammu. His real body appears beside Mephisto. That tall humanoid figure exudes a suffocating divine breath. Dormammu's dark alien dimension and Mephisto's hell plane coincide with Blue Star, and the three dimensions are integrated with each other until they are no longer separated from each other. For this kind of complete integration, it would take about 3 days for the two different dimensions to cover the entire Blue Star. The first to be integrated is New City. If you look at it from a high altitude, you will find that the dark alien dimension and the hell plane are extending very far. The integration of two different dimensional spaces can no longer be stopped. Dormammu and Mephisto are two gods. We can't even deal with one god, let alone two. We are finished. Humanity is finished. Doctor Strange's face was gray and desperate, and he muttered to himself. The captain and the others also sank in their hearts, as if they had sunk to the bottom of a well, and they were completely cold. This is undoubtedly a dead end. How to solve it? Sir, a nuclear bomb is coming. At this moment, Jarvis's reminder words came out, which stunned Tony, and the others were stunned at the same time. Are those politicians crazy? If you drop a nuclear bomb here, even if the enemy is eliminated, New York will be destroyed, and we, along with tens of millions of people, will be buried together. Carter was the first to scare Roar and said in disbelief. 0. Flowers no, You are wrong, and so are the politicians. The nuclear bomb is not that powerful and cannot threaten the gods. Doctor Strange shook his head and looked at the small black dots flying from the sky. He had never thought of using nuclear bombs to destroy powerful enemies, because he knew it. It was just whimsical. His words, "The captain and the others are doubtful." As human beings, they are already convinced of the power of the nuclear bomb and are unwilling to believe that the nuclear bomb will not work. Indeed, as Doctor Strange said, the nuclear bomb exploded when it approached. Immediately afterwards, I saw that Mephisto used a powerful hell magic to envelop the power of the nuclear bomb. Explosion, suppressing the destructive power, like a failure. Then, the explosive power of the nuclear bomb, compressed by hell magic, turned into a cluster of energy the size of a football file. 0.0 Mephisto weighed it a few times, then opened the mouth so big that it swallowed it, and then patted its stomach and burped. Hissed below. When everyone saw this astonishing scene, they unconsciously sucked in a breath of cold air, and their body and mind trembled. Is this the power of a god? Even the explosive power of a nuclear bomb can be swallowed without suffering any harm. It is completely strong, desperate. Did you see it? This is the great god, the most powerful nuclear weapon invented by humans. To the gods, it is just a small toy. Doctor Strange smiled wryly. He was not one to give up so easily, but he really didn't see the slightest hope of winning. Even if you use time to look at various futures, you can't see a future that can be won. Nuclear bombs are nothing to me. Suddenly, such a cold sentence came. Roar whistled, and the female Superman Kayla flew out in front of everyone. Following Kayla's appearance, Mera, Dr. Lizard, and a group of people from the Injustice Alliance also arrived. You? The captain stepped forward a few steps, looked at Kayla solemnly, and asked in surprise, "Let's make a truce and join hands to fight the enemy." Kayla spoke directly. She will rule the world and she will definitely not let Dormammu and Mephisto invade Blue Star. Good. 35 The captain breathed a sigh of relief and then said excitedly, "With the addition of Injustice, the Avengers and others have the illusion that they might win." Only Doctor Strange shook his head and sighed. He couldn't see the future of defeating the powerful enemy for a long time. Chapter 51, Simply Defeated. New City, due to the integration of the Dark Alien Dimension and the Hell Plane, has changed beyond recognition. It has the original appearance of New City, the appearance of Hell, and the harsh environment of the Dark Alien Dimension. This city is already a mixed environment of the three worlds. Compared with the original, it has become very unfamiliar. And it is also such a bad place that it is difficult for ordinary people to survive. This is a real hell. How can ordinary people survive in hell? Tens of millions of people from New City, not only have to survive in hell, but also face the slaughter of dark creatures and demons from hell. Just like Jedi survival with the difficulty of hell, it is difficult to survive at all. Even if someone was lucky enough to hide in a hidden place and escape tremblingly, they would always be found. And the time of death would always come. As ordinary people, their 020 cannot resist this. This is a powerless sadness. They can only pray all the time, hoping that the superhero will quickly defeat the powerful enemy and save the world again. 30 or 40 minutes have passed since the arrival of the Dark Alien Dimension, and nearly 10 million people in New City have died. This strange and chaotic city seems to be screaming for the number of people who have died, but also for the superhero, because all the superheroes have fallen. Near the center of the city, at the location of the She-Stark building, I saw that the building that had always been standing, has now collapsed. The Avengers and Injustice, the three Spider-Men, those who participated in the battle, all lay on the ground, all looking seriously injured. Hulk, who had raised his strength to level 5, was being trampled by the highest Dormammu, letting him roar and struggle. But he was also trampled. Dormammu smiled, black humanoid body, wearing a suit of magic battle armor, burning dark flames, looking more like a lord of hell than Mephisto. Mephisto still looks like an old man, but what he's doing isn't like an ordinary old man would do. One of his right hands turned into a devil's hand. He clasped Kayla's neck, and said in a devilish and tempting tone, "With your meager power, you can't save anyone at all. Now you can't even keep your lives. So, Do you want to save them? Do you want to save everyone in this town? If you want, sign a contract with me. I can fulfill your wish. Mephisto put a written demon's pact in front of Kayla's eyes. Then the demon's hand loosened and Kayla was released. With a plop, Kayla fell to the ground, coughed a few times, looked at the demon's pact falling to the ground in front of her, and was silent for a while. Don't promise him. The so-called demon's pact is a pact full of traps that can't be trusted at all. On one side of the tattered wall, a skeleton spoke, and its skull was burning with a dull blue fire. He is Ghost Rider, who deceived Mephisto, signed the demon pact, became Ghost Rider and worked for Mephisto. However, by coincidence, Ghost Rider went out of control and the originally burning red fire of hell turned into Angel's blue fire. The blue fire represents peace, protection, and justice. Dormammu and Mephisto invaded the New World City. Such a big event must have alarmed Ghost Rider, sensed the arrival of Mephisto in a faraway place. Then, he also came to fight. However, Ghost Rider with blue fire is no match for Mephisto even if he has the power of level 5. At the beginning of the battle, it was similar to what happened to the already defeated superheroes, who were defeated cleanly. It was a complete failure. Just like the pumpkin baby who saved Grandpa, he came to give away his head. No, no, how can you say that? Have you forgotten? After signing the demon pact with me, I fulfilled the contract and brought your father back to life? That's right, but you killed him again. It's a different matter. I didn't break the contract anyway. I saved him. After that, he died again. How can I blame myself? Mephisto shook his head and said as he walked up to Diana and dropped a demon's pact, showing a gentle smile like an old man, and continued to develop his business. These are all a group of superheroes. As long as they successfully trick a person into signing the demon's pact and becoming their subordinate, they will make a profit. For this reason, after the superhero was defeated, they were lucky to save their lives. If it weren't for Mephisto to develop a business, the superhero would not have survived for so long, even if the time was only 10 minutes. But you must know that the time it took for the two gods to defeat them was less than a minute. In such a short time, in terms of the power of the gods, for these superheroes, it is the desperate gap between heaven and earth, and the crushing battle is a matter of course. Moreover, this is the joint effort of the two gods, and there is no way for them to turn back. The process of the battle is like this. And there is not much to say about the battle that was defeated in 2 or 3 times. Speaking of the scene, Mephisto is like a very patient old man, handing out the demon pact to the fallen superheroes one by one, explaining the contents of the contract in detail, like a salesman who is well versed in pyramid schemes. I have to say that the Hell Demon King's words of temptation are still very magical. Even the captain, after hearing Mephisto's words, has a momentary throbbing in his heart. He wanted to come. If he could save all the people with the sacrifice of one person, it would be worth it. But 4.8 is that he heard Ghost's words. Ryder looked around and looked at the tragic state of hell on earth. These cruel facts reminded her that the devil's words could not be trusted. I won't sign it. The captain strengthened his belief that he would rather die than surrender. Me too, Kayla said calmly. Justice does not bow to the devil. Diana said word by word. I only believe in Aquaman, not your subordinate. Mara stubbornly raised her head and said, I won't sign either. Me too, don't sign. The rest of the others also rejected them one by one, which were all responses from the Avengers and others, including the 3 Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. However, some people in the Injustice League, their stance is not so firm. Chapter 52. Never underestimate the angry Hulk. Dr. Lizard agreed to sign. He is no longer a human being, as long as he does not regain his body, whether it is ideas or ambitions. It is towards the lizard family. Therefore, it does not matter if he betrays humanity and becomes Mephisto's subordinate. Lightning Thompson also agreed to sign to save his life. He is a great villain. What firm principles, integrity, etc. can you eat? Green Goblin also succumbed. His Green Goblin personality is completely evil, and he doesn't care what position he is in. Being the subordinate of the Demon King of Hell is a trivial matter, as long as he is stronger than him. Gala is like that, and Mephisto is the same. It is okay to do things for anyone. Surprisingly, Baron Strucker, Baron Zemo, and Viper all shook their heads and would rather die than sign. We will not sign. We are Hydra, and if one head is cut off, there will be thousands of heads. Ruling the world is the ultimate ideal of our Hydra. We will not compromise with you. We will be your subordinates and help you rule the world. This is Baron Strucker on behalf of Hydra, shouting at Mephisto to never be a slave. All 9 Hydra can only be defeated, not conquered. The 3 of them let out a roar, Hydra hail, and then closed their eyes and waited to die. The captain was shocked by the 3 of them's choice, but he also thought it was reasonable. As an enemy of Hydra, he knows Hydra better than anyone else. Hydra members are a group of madmen, who are not afraid of death to rule the world. Moreover, although Hydra is an evil organization, it is undeniable that Hydra members are all humans. No matter what they think, how ambitious they are, or how they do things, they will always do it as human beings. Obviously, even if the Hydra members are villains, they are very principled and will not betray their human identity and become Mephisto's subordinates. Compared to the 3 of Hydra, Dr. Lizard, Lightning Thompson, and Green Goblin, they have no principles. They shook their heads and tails at the Demon King and acted like a dog of surrender, which made people look contemptuous. Kayla looked at the 3 of Hydra with admiring eyes, and then looked at the 3 of Green Goblin with calm eyes. She is not angry. In the face of life and death, everyone has their own choices, and she will not force others. You want to survive and choose to surrender. I will not blame you. However, your actions are undoubtedly a betrayal, so from now on, you are no longer members of Injustice. Kayla announced on the spot that Green Goblin was expelled from Injustice. In this regard, the 3 Green Goblins did not care and successively signed their names on the Fiend Pact, and from then on became Mephisto's subordinates. From the moment they signed the Fiend Pact, they felt the surging power of hell pouring into their bodies, giving them a feeling of being overwhelmed. Soon, the 3 of them were transformed by hell magic and their appearances changed a little. There are devil scales, thick keratinized skin, and devil horns, and the whole has been transformed into a devil. Dr. Lizard's body is red, as if magma is flowing. He has the ability to control magma, and is a fire demon. Lightning Thompson's body burst out with red lightning, which is a lightning demon. Green Goblin is not only demonized, but also has an extra pair of wings and can use a corrosive. He also signed the Demon Pact. Unlike Ghost Rider, the 3 of them have transformed into demons from hell. Therefore, in terms of willpower, the 3 of them are no match for Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is very powerful and not so easy to create. For Mephisto, the most righteous soul, if he signs the Demon Pact, then he is fallen and the power will be stronger. This kind of person is qualified to become a Ghost Rider. His ideal target is Captain Diana, followed by Tony, Doctor Strange, Black Widow, Carter, Winter Soldier, Gala, Mera and others. Hulk is not included. Mephisto discovered that the so-called power of gamma rays is indeed very strong, and his hell magic cannot transform Hulk. The 3 of Hydra were not good people in the first place. Like the 3 of Green Goblin, they were not important. Mephisto confirmed this again, and after he refused to sign, he simply killed him. Then asked Kayla. Kayla sneered and turned her face away, still determined not to sign. Mephisto shook his head regretfully. Although Kayla has become evil and is no longer a good person, her original strength is very strong. If she signs the Demon Pact, she is eligible to become Ghost Rider. Kayla transforms into Ghost Rider. He must have the 5th power. Unfortunately, Kayla does not sign. If that is the case, then I will have to take your soul. Saying this, Mephisto extended the demonic hand towards Kayla. Kayla's soul, undoubtedly the delicious food that would increase his power. GGG, Mephisto. These people's souls are all fine for you to take, except for his. At this moment, Dormammu pointed at Doctor Strange and said with a strange smile, he has always fought against the Ancient One Mage, has forged a deep hatred, and knows the secrets of the Eye of Agamotto, so it must be Doctor Strange. Maybe. Mephisto smiled meaningfully and nodded. He also knew something about the Eye of Agamotto. After all, he had fought against the Ancient One. Therefore, he also has an idea for the Eye of Agamotto. However, With Tang Feng as a great enemy, he didn't want to turn against Dormammu now, so he agreed first. After that, he simply turned around and denied the account. There is another reason. Although the Infinity Gems are very strong, the power of a single gem is only level 7 to the limit. If you want to destroy or create the universe, you have to collect 6 Infinity Gems, which will be the 8th level, representing the infinite power of multiple dimensions. It is worth mentioning that even if it is a single Infinity Gem, it is not easy to control the use of O2O, unless it is highly compatible with Infinity Gems. The Wizard Elder has had the Eye of Agamotto, Time Gem, for so many years, but he has not been able to exert the limit of the power of the 7th level, and Dormammu has just obtained the Eye of Agamotto, and it is no exception. As long as he could not exert the power of level 7, Mephisto did not need to worry, so he pretended to hand Doctor Strange over to Dormammu. TSK, what a pity that the new Sorcerer Supreme is being held captive. The dead master must be blind. I am the most suitable heir. She just ignores him. You, the heir, are not worthy of being the Sorcerer Supreme. Mordo led a group of evil wizards to arrive, standing respectfully behind Dormammu, sarcastically towards Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange looked at Mordo angrily. If it weren't for him, none of this would have happened. At the same time, I felt very reluctant and very guilty, and I felt ashamed of the importance of the ancient wizard. Boom. Just at that moment, Dormammu was shot. Mordo and those evil wizards standing next to them were also slapped, screaming in agony. Their bodies were like fragile glass, shattered, and died just like that. A loud roar, shaking the sky. This was an unexpected change. Everyone was stunned. Mephisto also stopped drawing Kayla's soul, turned his head, and saw a huge slap in the eyes. It's green. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.